The end of Thunder War. The finale. The coup de grace. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Doing good,
Uh
doing good.
oh.
What's
Can
up
you
to
guys
everybody
hear me?
watching? Everyone in the
Yeah,
chat.
we can hear you.
I can't
The
hear you. All
12th
right. I'm gonna
edition
leave and
of.
come back. I don't know
You're going to
what's
leave,
going
come
on.
back?
I'll be back.
We're just getting started. All right, come back quick. All right, 12th episode, Stormwatch, the Thunder War finale with your boy, Murewa Ayodele, writer extraordinaire of Marvel Comics. Murewa, you kind of didn't, you kind of threw everything but the kitchen sink into this, huh?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You know, it's been a
Uh,
long road. Looking at the last 12 issues, um, you've been building, you've been laying down groundwork, you've been leaving Easter eggs here and there, and it's all culminated into this. So let's jump into it. First of all, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. What's up to AJ? Thank you, sir. Everson Salvatore, thank you for joining us. Kevin Pitts,
Kevin.
what's up,
Yeah.
brother? How you doing? Pericles Dragon Balls in the house. My super question guy, Eclectic Blurred's niche. Always got the dope questions. Bonnie Storm, thank you for joining us. Eclectic Blurred needs already got 3 questions in the pike. I've starred your questions, man. We will get to those towards the end, but keep them coming. Storm
Welcome,
gonna
everyone.
her in Jungle Sharingan in Rogue Storm. Good lord. All right. All right.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else? Hadari Yao. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Black Panther, Anthony Davis, and Ro Amore. Okay. Let's jump into it, fellas. Let's do the recap. House of Ideas. You know, Eternity has decided I'm going to be a little. I can't use that word. We're only the first 10 minutes into the show. Um, I, I am going to be a kind of a weak guy, and I'm going to run to Daddy for help. Because he's afraid that he may not have what it takes to defeat Hadad.
Mhm.
Other players on the board. We have Jean Grey approaching things from her angle. Scarlet
Exactly.
Witch approaching things from with the Never Queen approaching things from her angle.
Mhm.
The Abyss. We have the Black Winter.
Frieza.
We have Infinity searching for her brother. Um, Galactus. All the players are on the board. Leading the issue number 12.
Hmm.
Thank you again for Mateos Manahini, who has brought the fire on every single cover A of your series. You're a very
Yeah.
blessed writer to be able to have that.
They've been
Uh,
fire. All of them.
what'd you say, Antoine?
I was just saying, yeah. Every shop that I've been to across the US this year has remarked on the covers.
Yeah, yeah. Although the cover on the right with the mask, it still puzzles me. Like, what is the practical? Like, who's gonna rip up a? I don't know. I'm still traumatized from some stuff I had as a kid as a comic book. That's all right. That's all right. Let me work through my own issues on my own time. All right, jumping into issue 12. You brought back my boy Jericho Drum,
Mm-hmm. With
and
cool
he's
hair.
popping. He's traversing the universe via a frog. Can you explain this to me?
Oh yeah, this is just an homage to one of my favorite anime, Naruto. Jiraiya Sensei, moves like that. Transport through his toad. So yeah, so I kind of wanted to do something like that for Brother Voodoo just to do some, crazy mystical things. So yeah, I really love that. And they're in the it's also a slight tease that we'll get to understand more later in 2026 and a little in Rogue Storm. We From Storm 11, we know that something has happened to Margot, and we know what's inside of Margot. So, and we know that thing that is inside Margot, which is Egun, is from Dr. Voodoo. So it's probably here to do something about it. So it's here, but and also here to help Storm. But I don't talk about the Egun part because it's something that will be revealed later. So he's there to help Storm and also help with that, but is interrupted, by what we see in the next page.
Now, you didn't have, fast forwarding a little bit. You mentioned the goon is in Maggot. Maggot, oddly enough, was missing this issue. Why is
Yeah. Is still presumably dead, from based on what we saw last of him in 11, but we'll get to see the ramifications of that. If you are the living prison of a demon and the living prison is now dead, what happens to, the inmates?
I need Maggot's head to be back on his shoulders, man. You can't leave my dude like that. I was just now starting to have respect for that character due to what you did to him.
Yeah, I one of my favorite shows is Rick and Morty, and early on in the Rick and Morty series, every season finale, everything's always cool, fun, and exciting. But I don't think they do it anymore. They don't do it anymore. But every season finale, something terrible happens that everyone is in a worse place. So that's the direction I went with here. Is like all our protagonists and supporting characters are in like terrible positions. Storm, Margot, Manifold, Dr. Voodoo.
Yeah. All right. I need my team Onyx to
Back in
manifest
action.
when we come back from Rogue Storm. I need that team to be together. Okay, so Dr. Voodoo pops up, Night and Day Hospital in Arkansas. And who do we see him encounter but Gore the God Butcher? Why is Gore here?
It's not just God Butcher, it's also Sentry and Philavel. Three very strong characters. It's a testament to how powerful, the Gunner of Gods, Jericho Drum, is. That for Death to summon him, he had to take three of the most powerful characters, to bring him over. But something is different about these characters. They are not the characters that we know. They are zombies. So, and we get to understand more context in the later pages.
So even when you're doing a conclusionary storyline, you're leaving Easter eggs for the next storyline, which we still
Yes.
won't be able to see until after Rogue Storm.
Yes. I was
You are truly diabolical. You know that,
right? I was one against that they would like the 12 issues to just be like this compact story. But I'm like, um as nice and fun and nice that is, I would really, like I said, shows like Rick and Morty, that those days, they take years, but they keep you engaged because they end the seasons on such a massive cliffhanger and a promise of big stories to tell.
Yeah.
They are like, nah, I'm coming back day one. And I'm like, I want to give readers that same experience. I don't want you to come to be like, okay, let's see what's going to happen, I want you to come to be like, yeah, I can't wait. We get to finally get answers, Yeah, I want to give there are things I particularly love about some stories, and I would like for readers to have that experience as well.
Yeah.
we're gonna circle back to this Dr. Voodoo thing. a little later. So let's jump into it. Thunder War ends.
Look at that title page. My God.
Your artist in this is, what's his name? Santoro?
Mario Santoro.
Mario Santoro. Never heard of this guy before in my life.
He's brand new. He's
brand new
to
dude.
Big Two. To the Big Two. He's brand new.
And I told incredible. Go ahead.
Yeah. I told him and first friend to Sue that colored this work. I said, you guys should be on Marvel events.
Yeah.
You guys should be on Marvel events. Your art is so epic and so grand. You know, it's just wonderful. Like, look at the scenery here.
Yeah.
Look at nah.
He's got a predilection. Awesome. Does he doing the coloring too? Who's doing your coloring?
Fernando Suo. Yeah.
Excellent coloring. Has a thing for purple. Has a thing for purple. This is just an epic looking single page. That's why I put the whole page on here.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble with Marvel by showing the whole book, but damn it, Marvel, this is a good page.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in terms of allies, Maggot's off the board, Manifold's off the board. Her two closest allies who helped her literally body a whole bunch of other, storm gods.
Mm-hmm.
So she's out here by herself. She's all just her armor and her spear. She's on the Avengers. Jed McKay's Avengers. Shout out to Jed McKay. But they're a little busy. We zoom in on this little note that Tony Stark leaves behind, and it says, "Storm, your boyfriend," scratch that. "Ex-husband," scratch that. "Teammate ran into some trouble with the Shi'ar. We've gone to check on it. Hold down the fort while we are away."
So Earth's mightiest heroes are gone. They're away from the planet.
Shout out to Tony Stark for being the ultimate troll to Storm about her relationship. I thought that was a really cute sentiment. It's not the first time you've had Tony giving her a hard time about her relationship with T'Challa.
Yeah, since issue 7, I believe. 7 teased her in 7, teased T'Challa in issue 8. Then Manifold and Margot take over the teasing in issue 10. Now it's back at
Truth or Dare. And Jed McKay had a nice moment where T'Challa stopped being a little punk and decided to show back up on the Avengers and face Aurora.
That was
and they had a nice intimate moment where he's like, "You're my best friend, and I'll always have my feelings for you." And she's like, I respect you too. You're my friend too. I love you. Well, they didn't say that, but that's the dialogue that was going through my head. Right.
I love that red squad.
So that was cool. At least they're friends again. At the bare minimum, they need to be friends. Bare minimum. They've gone through way too much, and they have way too much knowledge of each other to not be friends.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Storm got. I love this part. I had questions. The whole book was wordy. I don't mean that as a diss. It reminds me of some of the great writers like, Christopher Claremont was a wordy guy.
Yes, he was.
Mark Millar can be wordy. Frank Miller can be wordy. People today reading comics aren't used to having a bunch of dialogue.
True.
In comics. It's the art, the visual aspect of it takes more of the storytelling than a lot of the dialogue aspect of it. You kind of flipped the script and went back to old school style in this because there was so much you had to cover, and even visually wouldn't be able to keep up with all the things that you were discussing. So every single line seemed to always have, or every other line seemed to have some type of Easter egg. In this one, you have this almost throwaway line: "Storm gods were birthed from eternity's rage, anger, and twisted desire to be indomitable." That's like a whole multi-millennia storyline in that one sentence.
Yeah.
Can you
Mhm.
discuss that?
Um, it's basically a throwback to um what we saw in Storm 5, where we saw the trial by combat, and we saw that I think, I'm not sure the dates now. I think 3 billion years ago or so, that they had the 13th trial between eternity and oblivion, and eternity lost again for the 13th time. So within those 3 billion years, this line just explained what eternity has been doing to prepare for his next conflict with oblivion. It's like, okay, if I keep losing these battles, I need a new type of hosts. I need powerful hosts. And it's from that rage and that twisted desire to win, to always come out on top. That's where Storm Gods came from. Storm Gods came between those 3 billion years ago. And if you go back to Marvel continuity, it's around that time that the Elder Gods were created. So hinting that Storm Gods are around, all fitting around that 3 billion years kind of thing, if I'm getting the date correctly. You can go back to Storm 5.
This issue and this particular storyline, I think, will go down in Marvel history as being one of those pivotal moments of dealing with the cosmic corner of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
If they put together an omnibus, I could foresee like them putting together a cosmic omnibus at some point, and there would have to be a good portion of that omnibus would cover the Storm run, just given the scale of the characters. And I think that's, if I had to give a criticism of this storyline or this particular issue, is that the scale is so massive. For the casual reader who may not be familiar with the cosmic universe aspect of Marvel, you might feel a little overwhelmed because it's so
Overwhelmed.
damn
Yeah.
epic. You know,
Yeah.
the concepts here going on for eons, and the scale of these characters. We're not talking about somebody robbing the bank and Spider-Man, webbing them up on a lamppost.
Mhm.
This is a whole nother level
Yeah.
of the Marvel
Yeah,
universe.
I completely agree. It's just something that you're also aware of as a storyteller. It's just two things. Number one is sometimes, just to further the medium, just to further the type of stories we tell, you know, we push things. The reason why we can have multiversal stories now, that everyone now understands the multiverse, is because some creators decided to push it, even though it would be confusing, till it's a pop culture thing now. You
Yeah.
know, I think Rick Remender was saying it, in one of his latest pages, one of his comics. Can't remember which one. Talking about, he remember pitching one of his series, in Hollywood, and they kept trying to change it. They kept turning it down because they're like, people would not understand this whole multiverse thing. People will not understand this whole multiverse thing. And it's like, see now, like, you see everything everywhere all at once. You see, Spider-Verse, you see everything now. And people just understand that, oh yeah, it's just multi. You see Rick and Morty, Council of Ricks,
Yeah.
and it's just now just, oh yeah, we all get it. So it's I understand the risk, but as a medium, as a storyteller, you have to push the boundary,
Yeah.
and try to see how we can expand, the horizon of literature itself. So it's something you try to push, but at the same time, as you expand, you also try to compress back. The next arc after this Rogue Storm is a sword and sorcery story. Something we are very, very quote unquote familiar with. It's not as, oh yeah, Oblivion and this thing. It's now becomes, yeah, someone has a big axe and is going to smash everything.
All right. Gongo says, I agree. Ido is pulling from a lot of past runs. You really have. I mean, you've
Yeah.
scoured the Marvel footnotes on various things and pulled a bunch of stuff out the woodwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to make sure, like even the hosts, just the two hosts that we know so far, are in the right order. You have to make sure that the gardeners, because Eternal Madness, the Insane, is a gardener. You have to make sure that the gardeners are older than gods. You know, and how do you know that? I don't. Ickman kind of gives a date to the gardeners, but not the gods. But Ewing gives a date to the elder gods. And if gods came from elder gods, you kind of like compare the dates. So it's those kind of things you play around with. You're like, okay, so that means gardeners came first. So the gardener is like the 13th host. So, but the 14th host is now Eternal Hadad, a god, you know, and then mutants come way after. So then the next one is now a mutant. So kind of like arrange that and everything. So but again, there's so there's so many things that play here that you can't just put on the page. Else, it's going to become a novel real quick. There's going to be so much text, so you just know that you are following the continuity and you have your order here, and there's some things you won't be able to put on the text. So there's some text you're able to put on the page, but there's an internal logic, working in the background.
Sexual chocolate says you are doing the damn thing. Hand claps. You are. Listen, everyone who's watching, please. I forgot to mention this earlier. I'm terrible. Derek's not here tonight, so I'm kind of doing double duty. I'm doing his job yet again. Like, I really need to start paying myself extra. Double of zero. But please hit the like button. Share the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. And we'll talk a little bit more as to why you really want to subscribe to the channel coming up soon. All right. One of the things you said from the very first episode, when we talked about what was some of the restrictions or mandates that you got from Marvel or Tom Brevoort on this series, and one of the things that I knew that you had a limitation on was keep Storm on Earth. Don't have her go. You just keep pushing the envelope,
Right.
literally hanging above the earth. It looks super cosmic, but technically you have not violated your rules.
Yeah. So, and everything still feels very epic. Everything still feels very gigantic, and she's still on Earth, So yeah, it's very cool.
All right. She refers to him as a dad. He doesn't even acknowledge her. This dude is so petty. So petty. He refers to her as host of eternity. Not Storm, not Hadar, not Earth God, Storm God, host of eternity. Doesn't even recognize her as a god. Just incredibly dismissive. Can you be more passive aggressive as a god than like this dude is with her?
Yeah, it doesn't acknowledge her as a person. It's host of eternity. Like, this is what you are to eternity. That's what I see. I don't even see a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he starts to talk down to her. I'm not a violent god. With these hands, I've built such great beauty and things, and I create. I don't destroy. I'm, trying to rationalize his bad behavior before he decides to show what else his hands can do.
Bam!
Jawbreaker. Now look, I've been reading X-Men comics because of Storm since the 80s.
Yeah.
I've seen many a fight. I'm one of the first ones to say Storm is one of the best fighters in the Marvel Universe without her powers. Storm got hands. It is well documented.
Yeah.
Storm has hands. In all of the fights that I've seen over the last 40 years, I've never seen her take a blow like this before. You and Mario Santoro, he made this really jarring looking. You got the highlight Jawbreaker. it literally looks like her jaw is broken.
It
The,
is.
the human mouth does not do that. He broke her jaw. I've never seen her take a blow like that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, man, this is like abusive.
Did you notice what's coming out of her mouth in this page?
Blood?
No. If you look a little close.
What am I missing?
Look like
Hadad's ear.
His ear. She bit his ear off. That's why he hit her in the mouth.
Oh.
Excuse me. Yeah. Mike Tyson move.
she got hands. She fights.
Right.
And that's kind of the thing. You established this wasn't just boxing. This was a fight to the death. This is for all the marble. There's no, in real fights, there's no rules.
Yeah.
There's no, this is not playtime. This is not, I need to be nice to you because you're a girl. This is a fight.
Yeah.
And they're fighting as equals, not a man and a woman or a god and a human. These are two heavyweights going at it. And I respect it. I respect it.
And this to establish, the tone for 2026. Some of the things that we're trying to do with this volume, as much as we're trying to tell this epic cohesive story, we're also trying to break some stereotypes so that if any future writer comes into write Storm, some expectations no longer exist. When people read Storm comics, they already say, oh, Storm is not going to get hurt, like seriously hurt. There's that expectations, nobody's going. So you read a Storm comic, you're like, she's going to be fine, and all those stuff. But all these things that we're doing is to show that, moving forward, if there's any Storm comic, be afraid, be very afraid.
Beat her up.
Be afraid, be very afraid. We've shown Aegon be able to touch her. We've shown the Thunder Gods be able to show her, and we've seen Hadad. Storm is an incredible fighter. She's incredibly capable, but she can get hurt and she can die. So now,
as evidenced by the fact that you killed her.
So now if someone comes on into a Storm comic, there's no, we know it's just going to be them sipping tea, and just not going to be that anymore. It's just going to be, you take it as serious as you take a Spider-Man comic serious, knowing that, anything can happen. Like, you don't read a Spider-Man comic thinking, Spider-Man is going to be okay. You're like, anything can happen. You're like anything can happen. Like people. I remember early on in Ultimate Spider-Man, people are like, this guy's life is too happy. We're scared. I think someone is going to die. People were really scared for you. Like, it's like someone's going to die. So, and it's that thing. There's tension. So even when you're giving an happy story, people are still scared. So
yes,
and it's good establishing that for this character, and it gives creative freedom for anyone that takes over, for the long haul for the character.
Hadar Yao notes that there's a few panels between her transformation and her jaw getting knocked half off. Yeah, I can't show every panel. That will get me in trouble with the powers that be, the whoever at Marvel, and I'm not trying to deal with that type of stuff. All right. So my man has his own spear. Aurora's been dealing with her own spear for several issues now. He has his own spear, probably made from the bones of his enemies. He's talking his ish, hurls it at her, and stabs her with it.
Yeah.
Mark you now, she's wearing her vibranium armor. What the hell is that spear made out of?
I know, right? Just some little things I played around with, Hadad, in that back and forth, Hadad was like, I'm not a violent god, and the next panel is the Jawbreaker, like intense violence, and it's like, I made such, beauty and such good things with my hands, and then you see his hands light up, in a fury, And Storm is trying to say, like, I understand the great way that you shoulder. And the next panel, he pierces her shoulders with his spear. So
Yeah.
I love playing around with that back and forth thing. And
I
yeah,
love how she tried to throw up the Bobby Drake Iceman shield, and it just went straight through.
it just went straight through. It just went straight through. And um the vibranium armor, seeing it shatter, you're like, yes, like this is the power levels we're talking about. Like this is someone crazy. Like it can't the vibranium armor can't dissipate this much kinetic energy coming from this guy.
Yeah.
It just shatters, and it's really, really crazy. So yeah, I love playing with this.
All right. So he starts getting mouthy. You have not awakened your boundless eyes, have you? You have not looked through time to learn of the host before you. You know nothing of eternal madness, the insane eternal Hadad, the devastator. Dude's always boasting himself up. I think he's got an inferiority issue. As it stands, you barely know the eternal storm, the turbulent. With the powers you struggle to wield, I dominated the primordial abstract entities, drained the living tribunal, and used their powers to wage war against the one above all. I am the shit, is basically what he's saying. All right, so let's start with the first part. You have not awakened your boundless eyes. What are the boundless eyes?
Technically, she has
to ask
used.
you that question.
Yeah, technically, she may not have unlocked it, but she has used it once. She used it in Hellfire Vigil.
Mm-hmm.
Eternity opened it a little for her. That's where she was able to see Furaha for a little while in the future. That's the boundless eyes. That's when her eyes became all starry and purple. So, and because eternity is, an entity in charge of time, if you are the host, you can see through time, past and present. So now we realize why Hadad is so prepared, why Hadad is so unstoppable. It's not just because of his power. He probably knows everything that we need to know about Storm. And that's why you see the line it says again, like, oh, you are forged on a desert. Like, how did he know that? And that's because he's seen our entire life. He knows what we saw in issue 11, about how she left Egypt, to go to Kenya. She had to walk through the desert, and everything she went through there and gaining her powers and everything, like, I will make you in this one. So for him to be able to make all those references is because he has seen Ororo's life, because he has control of that boundless eyes kind of thing. So he can see it. So that's it. And another thing we play around why the text is going on is the visuals. We finally explain visually where Black Winters come from.
Yeah.
They are a creation of Hadad.
Moving on. We talked about how Eternity ran to Daddy for some help because, big bad Hadad is coming for him.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy's not happy because Cain killed Abel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it.
So he's not feeling too charitable at the moment. That one of Abel's minions is going after Cain. I mean, there's this line where he's like, Dad, why can't you help me out? You killed my son. Well, I'm one of your sons too. Yeah, but you've made your own creations. I mean, the one above all actually complements Eternity, I think, in reference to Eternity's creations of, humanity and stuff like that. And it basically says, look, you're a creator too. You're a better creator than I am. You take pride in your creations, do you not? And so you, as a father, so to speak, should appreciate the anger in which I feel that you took one of my creations away, your brother. Talk about this.
Yeah, it's also to show it's an inward exploration, because we've always said our Titans and read that one above all, exploring the differences, and also a real world exploration of the different kind of creators that we have. You know, um, there are creators that love their work, and there are creators that hate their work. They don't appreciate their work. Um, you've had creators that, oh, maybe they worked in comics, but you hear that, oh, all their lives they always wanted to work in TV, or always wanted to work in prose, but just they never got in. They're just doing this because that's the only place they got the opportunity to. So they don't necessarily love what they do. And so we're seeing that contrast. You see someone like the one above all that loves what he does, he loves his creations, and you see eternity that is apathetical if he doesn't hate his work. And you see that discussion too. And there's also the whole level of, like you said, the Cain and Abel thing, the father and the son thing. There are a lot of things, working here that I'm trying to play with. So yeah.
Order and chaos understood each other's roles. Within you, death and life reached a compromise. But you and your brother, only desired to end each other. Do you think the one above all kind of blames himself for the animus that his two sons have had towards each other?
I think he's able to separate the fact that because he has given them free will, it's their, and that's why he lists all these things, listing all other entities that are opposing forces but found balance. Order, you would think order and chaos should not get along, but in the Marvel universe they do. you know I think Lord Order and Master Chaos, you know and life and death, they're not friends, but they're like, you exist, I exist. And they just let each other go like, you know and there are different opposing forces like that. you know um the Phoenix can be creation. The Phoenix is creation. Abraxas is destruction. Abraxas got no beef with the Phoenix, like,
Yeah.
but the people that continually have beef is eternity and oblivion. And so I don't think he blames himself. It's like, you people made your bed. you know it's not my fault, because other children don't have this issue. It's just you two.
Mm-hmm.
Damari Watson says, after this, I'm guessing Hadad ain't the baby daddy after all. I ain't seen no fangs on my boy. I mean, I was from jump saying Haddad's the baby. He gotta have fangs in his mouth. I saw no fangs, and Mario Santoro draw no fangs, which means there's still a question as to who is Totoro's future baby daddy. Remains to be seen.
Remains to
And
be
Morea's
seen.
not telling. All right. New players step on to the scene. Shout out to Beta Ray Bill,
He's the
writing
MVP.
the epic God of the Storm, Sugar. Talk
Yeah.
about what
No,
this scene means.
no, I love this scene. I love this scene, especially when I was writing it, because I wanted some Storm gods to help Storm out at some point. you know so I'm like, okay, Beta Ray Bill is going to show up. So who else survives? What's going to make this big entry? What's going to be this? And I'm like, nah, Beta Ray Bill has to come, riding a dragon. And it's like, yeah, there's a dragon storm god. Let's bring that here. So I was like, yeah, nice. And if you also see those previous pages in issue 11, we see the storm gods raise their hands saying, voting against Storm. but we don't see what Suga voted for.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, so Suga and Bitari Bill are allies. So, we bring them over here. So, so it's just playing around with all those things. So it was very, very nice to be like, okay, they came to give Storm, time to, recover, catch her breath, and be able to transform, into the Black Vortex form, which, I'm going to be revealing more and more later, takes time to transform into. It took a lot of time for her to transform into in Storm 11, and here it took Beta Rebu stepping in to distract Hadad for her to be able to concentrate enough to transform into that. So if it's a serious fight and you want to dispatch of Storm, just keep going at it so that she can't concentrate enough to transform into the Black Vortex form.
Bonnie Storm makes this comment: Storm, Sango, and Sugar being the only fire-breathing storm gods. Is that true?
Yes, so far. They're the only three that has been depicted breathing fire. But any creator can make the others also breathe fire as well. It's just we've not seen it, but so far, I don't think it's limited to only those three. But so far, they are the only three that have breathed fire. Yes.
Sugar's fire is so potent it destroys Hadad's sphere.
Yeah, I think he probably has the strongest fire breathing of all three. And it's funny that all their names start with S. That's nice.
All right. This is a dope one. So I noticed, as you're going backwards here, we see her in different modes. She originally starts with the armor on because this is her most vulnerable form. And as the fight proceeds, now we see her in what I would consider her most powerful unassisted form to date, which is the Black Vortex. This is where she is closest to being his equal in terms of power level. They're literally shooting these beams at each other, and it seemed like somewhat of a stalemate. I thought this was a powerful page to show her amp her power up. Is that what you were trying to show here? Also, just the dialogue. I mean, let's read through this. Those ignorant. This is a dope line. As a Storm fan, you can't read this page and go like that was completely wrong.
There were a lot of great lines in this book. There really were.
My man Murewa's got bars. Those ignorant of her nature called her the storm god who retreats. But we know the terrifying truth of who she is. Hadar Yao, mistress of the elements, God eater. That's a new one. I like that one. The Omega of Omegas, the indomitable storm. And she'll die to protect her homeworld. This was a dope page. This was an homage to Storm page.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now
I love that God Eater line.
What does the God Eater line mean to you?
It's the Aegon line.
Yeah, when she swallowed.
Oh, yeah. The Aegon,
when she swallowed Aegon. Yes. Yeah.
Facts. Okay.
We're going to reference it later too. That now she's someone that can eat gods.
Yeah. So before we move on, a couple of people did have this question. So what we're looking at here, of course, is the Vortex Storm. Has she healed from her injuries? Has shifting into that form healed her injuries, or does she still have the broken jaw?
No. Switching to this form heals all wounds.
That makes sense. And this is why it takes so long for her to get into it, because it's another form. Yeah.
She makes her invulnerable and so many things, but it takes so freaking long and so much concentration.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's a good balance.
Yeah, so you can switch into it mid-fight. You actually do. So you probably need teammates if you want to get into this form to be like, Iron Man, this thing distracts, this person while I switch into this form.
Yeah. It's very
else she's not
Super
getting
Saiyan.
to
It's
that
very
form.
Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan transforming. Yeah, yeah.
Or Avatar last year, Bender's Avatar State in the beginning.
That's true. Yes. Avatar State. Yeah. I love this page. It's a really good page.
I love this page, man. This is a dope page. All right, let's move on to this one. All right, so we see her in Black Vortex. Now we've got Eternal Storm mode. This is the
two versions of the
version-
Eternal Storm mode.
Say again.
Two versions.
Two versions of the Eternal Storm mode.
Two versions. One where she's herself. The other one where she's in essence sharing the body as a host for eternity. She's, I don't know, for lack of a better term.
When eternity is in control and when she's in control.
Right. She's eternity's puppet. They have reached an agreement to share the body in this battle.
Yeah. Now, what's happening right here? Is she shooting out ice? What's happening here?
That page wasn't super clear. It's Hadad is still attacking her with icicles, and they are all just bouncing off her.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yes, I thought that because I could tell, like, from it looks like it's hitting her, not coming from her. So that's what I thought. She was being attacked. Makes sense.
All right. In this, he talks about Hadad will begin to loosen his grasp on our neighboring realms to become far too powerful for you to fight alone. But we have a treaty. Infinity, the Never Queen, Phoenix Force will converge here to join the battle. All you must do is just stall. She's like, no stalling. I'm taking this dude right now.
Right.
And those two panels show the difference. It's those things that we're saying. We've been doing it. It's like we might not put it in narration or anything, but we've been doing it in the storytelling from the very get-go. The reason why Oblivion keeps losing fights, but Storm doesn't lose those fights, it's the way they think about battle, their tactics. You see in the X-Man Untying in issue 6, the way Eternity is moving and fighting Cyclops. It's like when it was Storm and Cyclops was almost like a stalemate. When Eternity came, it seemed like he won, but he lost, because they had already got into the engine room and all those things like that.
Right.
And here we see that difference. It's Eternity is a little timid. It's like, yeah, let's get more people here. And it's like, yes, we're going to get more people here. But by that time too, Hadad would have released all his Black Winters. He have released all his hold on all the realms. It will now become as powerful as it was that we saw in Storm 8.
Right. And then
it was that only the one above all could stop him. If he gets that powerful again, not like just because you're all here, he's just going to start taking you out one by one.
Right.
So they're not going to be able to defeat him. And immediately something's like, nah, let's do it now before he can regain his strength. Like now.
Yeah.
So yes, that's because his power is split across different locations.
Which was their saving grace.
The same Black Winter. He didn't come as fully powerful as he would because he didn't think of Storm as anything. It's like, yeah, I can be as weak as possible. I would still win this fight against Storm. But then Storm turns into Eternal Storm. So it's like, so he needs to start releasing his old. So Storm's like, nah, this is the time to strike. Like, strike now.
Yeah.
Strike now. We're not waiting.
She goes into pure instinctual warrior mode.
Yeah, so it's that battle sense. Eternity doesn't have it, but Storm does. It's like, nah. We're not going to risk putting all these other people in harm's way. We're ending it now.
Yeah, it's a warrior instinct that Eternity lacks, which is why he's always taking L's.
Right. He doesn't think. And even going back to X-Manhunt, if you look at it from like a strategy perspective, it was very clear what she was doing and trying to keep everybody in one room and keep everybody kind of like within eyes range, because she could kind of see what was going on, who's moving where, who's doing what, and then Eternity
pushes them out where you can't see them anymore.
And it's like, why would you do that? now they're wild cards. We don't know what they're doing.
We got a super chat. Thank you, Aurora M. She asked, what is Storm's power level now without it eternity? Is she as powerful as Hadad on her own?
Oh, hell no.
No.
Hell no. Like,
No.
the reason why the black vortex form could like stalemate Hadad at that point is what we've said here. It's not even stalemate. Hadad would have still beaten her. Is because Hadad had spread across all his energy. Hadad is attacking every single realm at the same time.
Yeah.
He's still attacking, because we saw in the Stormy Level, he's still attacking the land of couldn't be, shouldn't be. He's still attacking the White Hot Room. He's keeping the Phoenix, Never Queen, Infinity, Galactus. He's keeping everybody busy
Quasar,
at the same time.
Mhm.
At the same time, simultaneously. So nah. They're not even close.
Yeah,
They're not
we
even
love
close.
her, but no,
Like,
it's not her league.
yeah, she like,
Okay, it's like we love her, but nah.
yeah. Like, spoiler alert, she only won because it's the Marvel universe and there are other avatars and other protectors in other realms keeping her that busy. But
Yeah.
nah, if there weren't other people and it's Storm, all of Storm and all of Hadad, nah, she's going down.
All right. Thank you very much for your super chat. Anyone else wants to give a super chat, you will get priority positioning in the questioning. Anti-Zack Snyder.
And I love this black and gold because I think everybody knows my favorite color scheme for her is black and gold. I love her in black and gold.
Yeah, you can't.
That's the funny thing. I love her most in white, but this design, I love it most in black. It's just it's the clothing almost feels like armor the way it's black, and I don't know, maybe because of the Eternal Storm has this Egyptian aesthetics. But the fact that it's now black and gold now has almost like this Nubian aesthetics. It just feels very African with the crown and the markings on her face, and it's now this black and it's just especially that scene where she's on, she's trying to run. It just feels very African, and I just love it. It's
what's interesting is you mentioned the crown. Like, it's only when she's in the Eternal Storm mode that she has her crown back. What's the significance of that?
Nah, I just love the crown. The crown.
You just love the crown.
every look I create, every look I've created in the run
has some variation of it
with the artist has had the crown. Brutal Storm has the crown. Black Vortex has the crown. It's just another form of the crown.
Just another form of the crown. Okay.
Yeah.
And same with the
Eternal Storm has the Eternal Storm has the crown. The armor has the crown. The black and gold original costume is from the Avengers run, and that's probably why it doesn't have the crown. Because I did have a say in that one.
Yeah. And I think the gold, the black and gold also makes her look more dangerous with the Eternal Storm. I think it has more of a intimidating vibe, to me at least.
Yeah, it's scarier. It doesn't feel as, angelic or something. It just feels like, this is there's a warrior coming right at you.
She has this moment where she kind of, I think, in standing up to Hadad, I wouldn't say has him on the ropes, but certainly is powered up at this point. And she's having this dialogue with Eternity, this internal dialogue. Talk about this internal discussion that they're having.
It's basically like being forced to have a discussion with an high school bully, being forced to have a discussion with an abuser, being forced to have discussion with someone that has hurt you really, really deeply.
Right.
And it's not just having discussion with that person, having to forgive that person and having to work with that person. It's not something that is comfortable. It's not something that's, but because Storm is who she is, she still has many things to say, but it's like, I want to save the planet first.
Right.
So it's like, I would share my feelings with you. I don't have the words yet. I don't have the words now. But, since that this fusion, I can share the feelings that are in my heart with you, everything rushing through my heart that I have to now fight to defend something that has hurt me so deeply, you know. But the only word I can say right now is that don't do it again, you know. And as she has to use that power to summon Abraxas and everything, you know, even though she's in control, a tear still drops from her eyes.
Right. I mean, this is one of those moments that really kind of defines her as a hero. Where you mentioned earlier, she's willing to die to protect her homeworld. She's always willing to throw everything on the line to protect others. This is the guy, Eternity, who used her body against her own will.
Mm-hmm. Several times.
Several times. There's no greater indignity you can suffer than that. Right? And she should have, rightfully so, a lot of anger and resentment towards him. And the fact that on top of all of that indignity, he's trying to, you know, play with the earth and possibly destroy the earth on a whim, you know, with what he's trying to do with Hadad or what have you. But she's willing to check her own emotions, her own feelings, her own disgust for the sake of the world. She's willing to enter into this devil's bargain with him and say, look, I have a lot of heat towards you right now, but I'm willing to, you know, allow you to take over the body again. As long as you don't take it over fully, you let me stay invested. You know, we can share it as equals and we'll fight the big bad together. She's willing to suffer through all that for the greater good. Truly defining moment as a hero. And the one teardrop is not a teardrop, in my opinion, of weakness. It's a teardrop of strength. Because she's willing to do all this, suffer this indignity for the greater good of beating the big bad, you know,
right.
Doing whatever it takes to win the war.
Yeah,
that's it's a powerful page, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it sort of exemplifies all that. I thought that was kind of a dope moment.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to also it spoke to me about just how much she's gone through in this run up to this point in general. Like, it's been so much happening. It might be easy to forget what just happened a couple of issues ago. You know, two very people that have become very dear to her, she presumes are dead. You know, it's a lot that she's been going through. And so, you know, to see this, to me, as you said, Paul, is just another reinforcing of who she really is as a character and why so many people love her, because she's able to make those sacrifices to say, God damn it, I hate you. I hate what you did. I'm depressed. My heart is broken, all of this stuff. But I know at the end of the day, I have a job to do and I'll have to deal with all of that later. Right now, we have to get to work.
Yeah, and I think someone put it well online, saying that it's the mutant metaphor on a bigger scale. You know,
Sure.
like the X-Men. The X-Men has always been about, you know, saving and protecting the world that fears and hates them.
Yeah.
And here Storm has to, you know, save and protect a universe that has been cruel to her and that is cruel to everyone around her, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I also explain further in the letters page as well, you know. Still that.
When storm gods of a certain caliber brawl, it is easy to compare the bout to those beings who wield Herculean strength.
This was so brilliant.
This was. But the comparison lacks nuance. What would appear as brute force to the untrained eye is the skillful manipulation of the cosmic element. What? Mutai and Gijuo by the Black Panther, Kenjutsu and Krav Maga by Wolverine, Tai Chi and Hung Gar by Shang-Chi.
Now, are we insinuating that she actually learned these from Shang-Chi? Like, did she train with him?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's what I was thinking. I love that. All right.
These are some of the many martial disciplines that I have. What's the word he used here? Mastered in recent years. Not I've trained, not I've got my yellow belt and I'm working on my green belt.
Mastered.
I have mastered with the 3 top fighters in the whole friggin' Marvel universe. Hey, what did I say before? Storm has hands for a reason. She has hands for a reason. But here's the thing: it's not about. I love this description. It's not about her brute strength. When these are entities, these storm gods. They manipulate energy. They manipulate the primal forces of the universe. And so when she's throwing a punch, it's not about her.
It's not really a punch.
Right. It's not her. It's not like a real punch comes from your hips and you're twisting your body and jerking.
Right.
This is a primordial punch where you're manipulating gravity and forcing gravity into one direction and towards a particular object. I mean, it's a whole nother level of fighting.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope writing on your part. Let's talk about that.
Yes.
It's just something that I've been, playing around with in my head, that, also with characters like Thor. Thor has super strength and everything. I'm like, especially even when people compare like the fight between Storm and Thor and so many things, I'm like, a lot of all these fights, there's a difference between when Superman fights and when characters like Storm or Thor fights. Even though they would look the same, they would look like, oh yeah, this person was punched and he flew through 3 walls and 3 houses.
Right, kind of like in the Matrix movie, the last Matrix movie, where you had Agent Smith and Neo fighting the Burly Man fight, and they're like throwing buildings at each other. There's that level of
and it's like, but it might look the same, but these characters are doing different things to the body, and that's why you should know how devastating it is. Someone like maybe Superman, Sentry, people that have like this Herculean strength, super strength, they are using that strength from within, against you. While someone like Thor also has it, but Thor, Storm, and some of these characters, they are using the environment against you. It just feels like that, and trying to describe those nuances, felt necessary. Like I want you to know the difference in, when we say, Storm is fighting and everything, like this is not just, oh yeah, Storm, oh, they just give her, she's Eternal Storm, so she's just discount Thor, or she's just discount Superman or something. It's like no. It's different. It's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the look on her face.
Yeah.
Rage.
They were even more. They were more text here that editorial had to cut, and I'm like, oh no, there was a text where I said that the storm gods are like demons or something, that they freeze your organs from the inside out while bombarding you with smoldering lightning. So it's also the fact that they're also at the same time that they're doing all these things, that they're using pressure and increasing their speed and everything.
Bro, don't simplify it. Use your own. Look at the man's words. With control over the electricity running through their synapses, they accelerate their speed and reaction time.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
With every blow from their fist assaults the body with an atmospheric pressure that rivals the sun's plasma core.
Yes.
Lesser beings would have died 1,000 times over. Look, and then she drops her bars, man. We got the word bubble. You're thinking it's eternity. Nah, this is Storm. These are storms. So, I am Aurora Monroe, storm god of earth. Strike my planet and I'll be the thunder that follows. Oh, damn.
That makes you throw your hands up in praise and worship. This was such an awesome. Oh my God, I love this page so much.
It's a level up page, man. This is a level up page, man. This is, and shout out to Mario Santor. The expression on her
The
face,
expressions,
Yeah.
the look.
Yes.
She's gorgeous on this page. The costume, oh my god, the costume,
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we can't show it, but I love the part where she's like unclipping her cape and she was like, I don't even need
Oh yeah.
These
It was in the script.
Yeah,
it was in the script. Beat your ass. Before she starts this, she's like, but for bastards like you, I have to rely on the uneducated wailings of the urchin boys from my childhood. And she unclips her cape like, nah, I don't need the capes to stand in my way. I'm going to beat your ass right now. Yeah. And again,
great
is
stuff.
all those things that we know about Storm. It's been said in our history that she trained with the Black Panther. It's been said a lot that she trained with Wolverine, and I added the Shang-Chi thing.
Yes.
But I also wanted something that is as like, how is she still able to be an incredible fighter before she met Wolverine? How was she be able to be an incredible fighter before she met Black Panther? And that's because she was on the streets of Cairo, and it's like, she was fighting with the urchin boys. They taught her how to fight. And she's like, when push comes to shove, when everything is all crazy, this is the fighting style I use.
She got gully. Storm got gully. There is no difference between these panels than seeing Wolverine go in berserker mode.
Right.
That's the expression she has on her face.
Yeah, and that's
blood flowing all over the place. This is Storm going ham right here. This is pure berserker mode. Berserker mode for a Storm god.
Yeah, and it's a fair payoff because just like in a Wolverine book or a Spider-Man book, she got her ass beat. She had a jaw broken. She got stabbed through the shoulder. So this is a justified beatdown. It's not it's not just saying, oh, Storm beat him up and nothing happened to her. She went through the ringer and now she's on top. It's her turn to beat his ass. And there he is.
You got knocked up out. Hadad was no such being. Oh man. Look, even when his ass is beat and he's on the ground, his teeth are all knocked out. He's still talking mess. Look what dirty is done to you. How did it do to me? You look in your own mind. You want to kill them too.
And Storm is like, I don't care about none of that.
Right. You try to destroy my whole planet. So here's what I'm gonna do. I already beat your ass. I'm going to take you and drop you in a pocket dimension with the rest of your little Storm God buddies.
Where Shango is, where Chuck is, you're going to be there.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a plot point. Like you're throwing all the Storm Gods into the same pocket dimension. I feel like something's going to happen in that pocket dimension at some point.
We'll see.
Yeah, but if nothing else, those Storm Gods that are in that pocket are safe from this event, so they can be used to get in the future if so desired.
Yeah, that's gonna have to come back. All right, more bars. Our lives are parchments, comical books. Come
breaking
on,
the fourth wall.
Come on, Murewa. You having a Deadpool moment right now. Our lives are but parchments, comical books in their endless libraries. Our suffering and tribulations are mere amusement for them to marvel
at.
Could you be more on the nose? We are pawns in the hands of who? These creators. He's talking about himself now. We have to seize our destinies or else. Maria, talk about this. You out here
now. Yeah, if we look at this line and you analyze it for a sec, I know it's on the nose. I need it to be on the nose because so that we can get it, and it's all of a sudden even though we've not fully revealed it, you understand where Hadad is coming from. You know, the one above all is this big cosmic entity, but the one above all is also Marvel Comics. You know, and imagine a character in the Marvel universe finding out that the reason he went through all the bad stuff he went through, the reason why he had such a terrible background, a terrible experience, lost so many of his loved ones or anything, is because it amuses some people that put these stories in their libraries, in their collections. You know, I find that your existence is just to please some people, and you find and you discover that, you know, you would want, if you can't hurt them, if you can't touch them, you would at least want to end everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's put an end to this, let's put a stop to this. And yes, in Marvel continuity, Eternity's heart is Earth, the planet Earth. But it also, in real terms, if Ada destroys Earth, most of the characters that Marvel publishes are based on Earth. The stories revolve on Earth. You know, Marvel Comics stops being anything if you know, it goes, you know. So it's all that. So everything is doing is to stop Marvel Comics from publishing more comics. You know, that's his purpose. That's what he wants to do, you know. But the characters in that world are like, nah, we have to stay in the Matrix, buddy. You want to leave the Matrix, but no, we have to stay in it. So yeah.
Maria's putting y'all on some game right now on some subtle levels that you may not even realize. We have a super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Azazel Valentine. Appreciate it. Thank you. Because you did the super chat, your question gets priority. Keep in mind, this is Storm with composure. That means Rogue is even more deadly. Is that true?
No, Rogue Storm.
Yeah, Rogue
is
Storm.
even more dead.
Oh, Rogue Storm.
Oh,
will
yeah.
be
Oh
Rogue
yeah.
Storm.
Yeah.
Because Rogue Storm will be unbound and unencumbered.
Yeah. The issue literally starts with her in chains.
Yeah. That's gonna be
Which
crazy.
that page is crazy. Like, man, it's so like scary looking, but it works. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I love this angle that Mario drew here. You still see Storm with the berserker rage on her face, but she's hovering over Hadad's body. She's summoning a lightning, I guess, spear or weapon or something again, looking like she's about to strike him again. And then we have Eternity dreading the future consequences of Storm's mercy, betrays her trust. She said, look. I am willing to overlook all the BS you put me through for the greater good of protecting my world. Just one thing.
You cannot.
Don't take over my body again. Don't do that. Don't do that.
And he said agree.
What does Eternity proceed to do? Takes over her body.
He broke the covenant.
He broke the covenant he made with her.
It's gonna be
Eternity. I love the way you phrase this. He forcibly subjugates Storm's body and slays Hadad in cold blood.
I know she was like, this nigga did not just do it. I know.
In a fit of fury, Storm reaches within every fiber of her being and rejects the treacherous abstract entity from her very soul.
Now, this next passage is very important. I think a lot of people missed this, how important this is. And it's not even what she's saying, it's how, well, she's not saying it, she's thinking it. And if we think back, what were some of the big complaints that some people had with this series? Was they were like, oh, we're not hearing Storm's thoughts, we're not getting inner narration, but here we are. But look at the color of the text. It's black.
Like the black vortex.
Yeah, about that, I try not to like think and respond to it because it's like we've said previously, it's the story we're trying to tell. Um, from the very first issue of this series, eternity has always been the looming threat. From the very first issue, eternity has been clouding our mind. Eternity has been trying to kill our, and our thought has been eaten away from us. The story needed it for the thought to be eaten away from us, and it's also a reflection. It's also a storytelling mechanism. You know that our own minds are also clouded from ourselves, and it should be clouded from us too as well. But now that she has rejected eternity, it's we're not like, oh, so this is why. It becomes clearer, and the story also is also now moving away from more of a mystic cosmic thing. It's now moving more into more of a grounded storytelling thing in 2026, and so you start seeing that change. One of the things I love about a lot of series, series like Saga and so many things, is the fact that they always reinvent themselves, and that's what I think keeps a series fresh for me. Introducing new concepts, changing the format, and all those. And so yeah, that's what we're having fun with here, and finally revealing why we've not had access to our mind, and it's because the universe has been clouding our mind.
Yeah.
Mel D makes this comment: Storm not trusting the universe is scary. Like, she has no reason to trust the primordial forces of the universe. She's been exposed to them, realized that they're petty gods.
Yeah.
They don't think about anyone other than themselves.
Yeah.
This is someone who's always defined herself as, she's always talking about Mother Gaia and the universe. And actually, I take that back. She's often referred to the goddess Gaia, which is more representational of Earth, not the universe. So I think from this point forward, her focus is going to be on Earth, which has always been who she's tried to protect. It's like F you universe.
Yeah.
It's Earth versus everybody.
Right.
Exactly. Which is also the mandates from Marvel that she stays on Earth. So you have to be like, yeah, I'm only trusting Earth, F everybody.
but right. Even within that is interesting because I don't know if she hasn't awakened the boundless eyes, so she may not know that even in protecting Earth, she's still protecting eternity, because that's like where his heart is, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't his heart supposed to kind of be like Earth? Isn't it like his weak point or one of them?
Yes, Earth is his heart.
Yeah.
So it's how we keep complicating this story.
Yes.
Technically, everyone, including Storm, is still part of eternity. Eternity is the subtotal consciousness of everyone. So
yeah.
And I saw a question of why is the lightning black? If you noticed, when the Black Vortex and the Hadad were having the whole eye thing, Hadad's lightning was black. When Hadad was fighting Beta Ray Bill, his lightning was black. So Hadad's lightning is black. And now that eternity has successfully ejected eternity, our lightning has turned black. Hinting at Hadad has probably done the same thing too. So
here's that black light.
Yeah. So when you're a former host of eternity and you've rejected eternity, your lightning turns black. So what does that mean for your mind? What does that mean for your powers?
Yeah.
What does that mean for how the universe will start to treat you? Will you now become, most wanted by the cosmic entities? What does that label you as?
What is the answer to those questions, Murewa?
2026.
I hate you, dude.
Will any
Yeah.
of that get answered in Rogue Storm as well, or is it strictly in 2026?
Strictly in 2026.
Okay.
Strictly in 2026. All right. We got another super chat. Shout out to Roa Moore.
Yeah.
$5. Appreciate it. I feel like she's going to relate to Hadad more because of this, the Black Lightning. Can we see that? Because Hadad was very bitter. And he kept saying to her, look, use your inner eye, that, what did you call it? The burden of
Boundless
eyesight. Use your boundless eyesight. Look at the lineage of other storm gods, and you see why I hate these people so much.
He's not even trying to preach to us. Like, see for yourself. Just see for yourself.
Yeah, don't take my word for it. See it for yourself. Does this lead to her? Can we see a world where she replaces Hadad? Hadad just been murked. He's gone. He's off the board. Could we see a world where she ends up replacing Hadad? Because the gods don't die in the Marvel universe. They're energy, so they can be taken off the table for a while until their energy reforms. And to quote a cliche, nature abhors a vacuum. You've created a vacuum because you've gotten rid of Hadad. He's gone. You have to have someone take that role. Is Storm the one who's going to take over that role in the universe?
We'll see in 2026.
We'll see in 2020. I knew you were going to say that. All right.
But wait, there's more. The story isn't over.
Wait, there's more. This is the part that I said we come back to. Dr. Voodoo encounters Gore the God Butcher and these other characters, which you said were zombies. You leave my boy. Look, you talk about cliffhangers, right? A literal cliffhanger. The man's hanging. You've got zombie Spider-Man. We can see there. It looks like zombie. What is that? Black Bolt, Thanos.
There's Hulk. There's Thor.
You've got Null,
the symbiote god.
Is that Beta Ray Bill too, or Thor?
That's Thor.
What's up, Murewa?
So I think I've been seeing a lot of theories about this, and it's so I would share, what's on my mind with this.
This is death, right?
This is death.
Death by body.
And and number one is death has access to anyone that has ever died. So these are all characters that have died at some point.
Oh God, Storm could face herself.
You get it. And who just died in this comic?
Hadad.
Yeah.
So look at all the characters that has ever died in Marvel Comics.
Man. Imagine if there was like a King of the Dead too, who could let me stop.
So all characters that have ever died, she has access to them now, and she can use them to wage a war. We're talking Sentry, Philavel, all this, and their incredible powers. She has access to them. Gods. Big beings like Galactus. Anyone that has ever died has access to all of them. Every single one of them, from the small scale to the big scale and everything. And it's like, this is going to be a serious one. For her to, this is going to be a serious battle for everyone. The fact that death is turning on.
Just took Dr. Voodoo, who is a necromancer.
Yeah.
He is a witch doctor of the dead, the Hugun, and says, I'm going to make you my soldier.
Battle general.
You're going to be my avatar of death.
Yeah.
You're going to command this army. You're going to lead this army.
As I said,
Imagine Imagine null.
I said
Zombie
jokingly,
null.
it would be cool if Storm were to have a King of the Dead in her corner, because that would be an interesting wrinkle to this. To add another member to her team, a little boyfriend / no, ex-husband / no, teammate
It's
who might
shall
have
see.
some King of the Dead powers in this battle with the dead.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
We shall
Now
shall
that
see.
could be a huge like crossover opportunity. That could be really cool.
Yeah, that could be really cool. I mean, has this ever been done in Marvel before?
Not that I can recollect. No.
There were plenty of Marvel zombie stories, but not the connection that you made between Marvel zombies and death.
Yes.
That's never happened.
Now, that's one connection. There's another connection too, and that's when we got introduced to the Black Winter at first. The Black Winter showed Thor how Thor would die, and it was Thanos leading Marvel zombies
Yeah.
in Donny Cates' run on Thor. And now we've discovered that Black Winter and Black Winters, are servants of Hadad. Did Hadad know this would happen? Did Hadad set himself up to die so that it would go to death? Because it's coming from oblivion now to death.
Right.
It's all those questions. We know oblivion and death are linked, but separated. Is Hadad the link between them now? We've seen the Black Winter that serves Hadad give this same, premonition of Marvel zombies coming for everyone in the Thor comic by Donny Cates. Now we're seeing it here again, so we're seeing everything connect, leading us to the biggest war Marvel Comics has ever seen, the war above all.
Isn't Maggot dead?
Wow.
Shouldn't Maggot be here too, right?
Like, Maggot's Omega powered now, or he kind of was. It's confusing, but he's got a goon inside of him.
Like, even if you come back,
He'd be a soldier in Death's army.
Yeah, even if you come back, your dead version is still going to be in Death's army. It's why
an Omega powered Egon eating Maggot as an agent of death.
Like, there's so many crazy characters that have died before.
Yeah.
You all have access to all of them.
Bro, like, how long is the Rogue Storm storyline? Because whatever answer you give me is going to be too long. I kind of want to get to this storyline.
No, Rogue Storm is 3 issues.
Good, because I can't wait more than 3 issues to jump into the storyline that you got cooking here, man.
Well, it's gonna be 3 issues, 4 months, because it comes back in February.
Not January.
January, February? Okay.
No, it comes out in February, not January. Yeah.
February, right. So yeah, it's those 3 months plus, 3 issues and then another month. And then February it'll be here. Starts again.
You do realize the only reason I'm paying attention to that whole X-Men crossover thing is because you're writing it, right?
Well, I think some of it actually is interesting. I'm looking forward to some of it. I think some of it actually seems cool. I was like, you know what? I like this idea of some of the books.
I've been reading them because I get comps. They are very, very good. Everyone's taking a big swing. It's really, really fresh and interesting. So
Eve Ewing just did a whole Black Love storyline with her character Bronze and the new dude that I'm intrigued by.
Yeah.
So I'll get that.
Temper?
No. Temper is with
she's
is the Unbreakable X-Men.
She's the Ransom.
Right.
So
who's Bronze with?
Bronze with this new nerdy dude who makes these little light portals.
Right.
So that's 2 black love couples, super love couples in X-Men comics that I've been bitching about for years.
Right.
And they finally, Gail Simone and Eve Ewing knocked it out the park from jump. So shout out to both of them. So that's 3 mutant titles I now have to get because you forced me.
And here is Dr. Voodoo getting comfortable with death. Out there, him.
Yeah, that Dr. Voodoo. This storyline is so intriguing, man.
Who could blame him looking at the body? I mean, she has to keep her face covered probably, but the body.
She kind of thick though, right? Like somebody made a comment about death being kind of thick.
She has a tail. Who knows
I was
what
gonna
she does
say,
with
I see the tail. I was like, what is that? It's a tail. Oh my god. The freakiest shit. So okay, before we leave this one, let me ask. I think somebody else asked me this. I said I would try to remember to ask. Is your intention for this story? Are you going to keep it more self-contained like you did with Thunderwar, or are there plans to maybe branch it out into a crossover if possible?
I don't understand. Can you ask the question again? Let me try to see. I want to be sure I'm not misinterpreting your question.
Yeah. So like Thunderwar. I mean, I know you had ideas for it to be this massive story, but it didn't work out. So you kind of kept it contained within the Storm series. Is the War Above All? Do you have those maybe aspirations to try to cross over with other books again, or are you just going to contain?
It's not set in stone yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're still going to the War Above All. Is not like, oh yeah, it's just like immediately from issue 1, death just shows up, and
right.
We're going to be building up to it, and
like
also going to be testing. And also just testing the waters and everything. So it's going to be like issue 1 as we build up to because this Thunderbolt should have been like to issue 15. So it's like us from issue 1 building up to another issue 15. So we'll see what will happen around that issue 10 to 15 thing if we don't get the axe. But I think I'm hoping we're not going to get the axe.
I think we'll be fine. And they better count the money from Rogue Storm towards the budget, because it's only fair.
You know what all this means, everyone? Go pre-order your upcoming issues for Rogue Storm and for when Storm comes back. So there's no pre-orders for Storm for issues 13 or whatever. By the way, I forgot to ask: is Rogue continuity-wise? I don't know if you asked this question already. Is the Rogue Storm considered part of your run? Like, is that issues 13 through 16? So when it comes back, will you take over at 17? Is that how it's going to work?
It's part of my run. So if there's ever an omnibus, it's going to be there. And there are some things that we're going to reference and stuff there. It's part of the run. But when it comes back, it's coming back as
13
with a new name.
A new name. Okay, so it'll be a new volume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to be Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutants 1. And then we'll now see.
Wait, stop. You can't do that, Murewa. You can't just drop an Easter egg like that. And
this is a blackcomiclords exclusive.
What is the title of the new series?
Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutants, issue number 1. So 2026. So what we had is Storm 2024. That was basically season 1. Rogue Storm is like the mid-season show, but we can also still say it's part of season 1. So season 2 starts in February as Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant.
Yeah.
And I was about to name the artist, but I forgot that Marvel hasn't announced it yet. Sorry about that. But yeah.
Is it a dope artist?
Yeah, it's a dope artist. And I've been getting pages. The pages are awesome. I'm enjoying.
Can you tell us if it's a new artist like Mario Santoro, who's a tremendous find, or is it someone that we might already know?
it's a mostly new artist, but has worked in the X office recently.
Okay, fair enough. Click the birds. Death is dummy thick.
So with the second season beginning, which I love to say because it's very episodic, with the second season starting in February, is it the same basic rundown as before, where it's like, okay, essentially you should have 10 issues to start, but depending on how the first couple go will determine if you make it all the way to 10? Is it the same kind of premise? So we're starting with 5.
5.
Okay.
5. It was 5 before. It was always 5. Is that Storm fans just keep supporting the book, that we just keep getting that increments.
I
It's
see.
always 5.
I see. So then if number 1 does well, then it'll be the same. Okay, then we can go to 10.
Yes.
Okay. Easy enough. Got it.
Pre-order. Can't do a small line for a comic store. Look.
And talk about the book. It's something I don't want to. I've been trying to avoid talking about, but just have to say it. It's the word of mouth is very, very important. And a lot of people have been trying to hijack that. Trying to see if they can hurt the book that way. So it's just pre-order, and talk about your experiences. Even if you have criticisms, talk about the book. Share your experiences, share what you enjoyed. Do your analysis, talk online.
Yes.
It does a lot to demystify, this story, this character, and what we're trying to build.
And let me say this to everybody watching, if you have a League of Comic Geeks account and you enjoyed the issue, make sure you go and leave a review, because unfortunately the reality is we do have people that try to review bomb it, and it doesn't deserve that. So if you enjoyed the issue, and you have an account, then please go and leave a review, and let's see. I would love to see some of your thoughts too.
Yeah, I think Storm fans have been doing that a lot. They are very, very awesome people. Because if you check on Amazon, for example, if we are number 10, we would have about the same number of reviews as the number 1 bestseller. Like the same number of people reviewing it.
Right.
And the number 1 bestseller basically sold more copies, and yet the number of reviews on ours is really about the same, if not even more. Right. So a lot of people after reading Storm always go the extra mile to drop a rating and drop a review. So we're really, really grateful for that. On Amazon, Storm is one of the best reviewed comic. I don't think we've gotten anything less than 4.6. It's always 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. I don't think we've even gotten a 4.5. I don't think so. So, a big thank you to, everyone for leaving reviews, kind words. I was able to respond to letters this month, but the letters are always awesome. Yeah, it's just wonderful. It's just, thank you very much.
We have a good number of people watching us right now. I wanted everyone, please, just take a second, hit the like button, share this video with the message, pre-order Rogue Storm. Pre-order Rogue Storm. Pre-order Storm Comics. Pre-order everything written by Murewa Ayodele.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Azazel Valentine for the super chat. Appreciate it. T'Challa and Death, I see what you're cooking. One can only pray. All right. Where were we? The final couple All right. So up next, Rogue Storm. Tell us. Let me see if I can blow this up a bit. Whoops. Sorry, Derek's not here, so I'm screwing things up left and right. Tell us what we can expect in Rogue Storm. What is the storyline behind this whole crossover? Can you give us some backstory?
So issue 1, basically, it's centered around Storm is sending the entire planet into an ice age. The story starts in Africa, in Egypt, and to stop Storm from destroying the Earth because of whatever she's going through, that's a mystery. Rogue assembles a team, Uncanny X Force, that has Phantom X, Warpath, Iceman, Gateway, and they're going to and they're going to serve as a strike force. And their mission is very, very simple. Their mission is to kill Storm, and that's where we start off with this story. And the Storm we get here is basically brutal Storm. Fights with a war axe. Fights with magic. I don't think our eyes are ever white throughout in this series. They're always black. So it's just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Now, earlier in the series, when Storm's eyes turned black, was that her tapping into her more magical side?
Yeah. So that's why we're
So
going to see our eyes more black here. It's just black because it's just magic.
So this run has to do a lot with her tapping into those abilities.
We would see that as we move ahead. We might not see that a little in issue 1, but we'll be seeing more of that as the series moves.
I'm all for it. I've been waiting to see her tap into those abilities.
Yeah, and I love the black eyes a lot. I love the black eyes a lot.
Yeah. Comes out.
I would like to see some more Black Lightning.
We are going to see that next year.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Okay, so sometimes people skip over the letters page.
They should not.
I highly recommend you don't do that.
I said this before. Hickman has data pages, and Ayodele uses the letters page in very much the same way that Hickman uses data pages. You get a lot of context and explanations in the data pages. I mean, in the letter pages, like you do in those data pages.
I'm not going to go through all of this because there's a lot. He packed a lot in here. I would highly suggest, if you want to go further down the rabbit hole and see the machinations of what goes through Murewa's mind when he's doing the vast amounts of research that he does and finding all these Easter eggs and tying them all together and expounding upon them, which is called good writing. You can get a glimpse into his mind by looking at what he puts on these pages. Murewa, do you want to elaborate on anything that you've stated here on this page?
It's just us comparing, the antagonist of the story to the protagonist of the story, about how Storm is, self-sacrificing, and she'll go through a lot of pain and hurt to save people, and eternity is basically the opposite of that. It would sacrifice anyone and any individual to save himself, and it's easy to call him selfish, but it's also, it all depends on the context. It all depends on the context a lot. If eternity should sacrifice himself to save someone, wouldn't we all be dead? So don't we all exist because he is selfish? Don't we all, so it's all just, comparing all that and, getting to learn more about, again, the antagonist and the protagonist of the story. The fact that eternity actually means time. A lot of people think it means space, it's time. And, getting to see the relationship of Storm being a mortal, why the other gods are immortal, why she has a very different view and relationship with time. While if eternity is cruel to maybe an immortal, how they will perceive it as differently as how immortal would. I'm trying to see all that. So yeah, it's that's what we really talk about, a lot here, and also tease the future projects.
I just had a wild thought.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing you said was, why is Storm mortal versus the other gods being immortal? And we know that she is not descended from the same tree of gods as the other storm gods. She's descended from Ashtor. But, you think about a character, there's a lot of comparisons between her and Jean Grey for various reasons. But the thing with Jean Grey is, as the Phoenix, she's died a lot. It's like a running joke in X-Men comics. Jean Grey's died a lot. She keeps coming back because she's the Phoenix. You die and you come back. You're resurrected. Storm doesn't have that. She doesn't get killed a lot. But as someone who is part of her lineage, this concept, and got me thinking about this, is what Hadad said about this boundless vision she has, right? Where she can look back at the history of the other storm gods. Will she ever use that ability to look back at her ancestors, going all the way back to Ashtur, going back to Sake, etc.? Like, she's tied all the way to the very first Sorcerer Supreme. Can she use that vision to tie into her own past? And then the second part of the question is one of the reasons why she's not immortal, because it's not about her living forever. It's about her passing on her power to the next generation, which goes back to that vision of her having a child, because a child represents your legacy. It represents your immortality, because it represents what your future is. You keep going. It's not about her living forever. It's about her passing on to the next generation. Those are my two-part crazy idea.
Where you were talking about the first part, it reminded me of the Ryan Coogler vampire movie that I've, for some reason, forgotten the title of.
Sinners.
Sinners, the music scene, talking about, across generations and everything, it reminded me of that. Yeah, I do plan to explore more of that side of the past, and we get, although it's through text mostly, we get a little bit of that in Rogue Storm. So it's something that I do intend to explore more, especially Ashake of of our ancestors. And yes, the second one, you hit the nail on the head. There are characters that their stories revolve around immortality and the weight of it. Characters like Thor, it's about immortality and the weight of it. Like you said, Jean Grey, even though she's not as old as Thor in the conventional sense, it's also about an aspect of our story is about immortality and the weight of it. But Storm's story is not about immortality or the weight of it. It's about tradition, it's about heritage, and it's about, like you said, passing the baton over to someone else. So that's even our biology itself is a baton exchange. Or that hold your hair is because of your grandmother and our grandmother and our grandmother, and all those kind of things. So you're linked to magic. Everything is your heritage and your lineage, and family is very, very important to her, and where she's from. So that's our own story. So it might lose meaning if she becomes immortal, but it's our own stories about passing the baton over to someone else. So yeah, the analysis is very on point and very solid.
All right, let's take a look at what we have upcoming.
Look, she's fighting a hippo.
Yeah,
She's
we've seen a
finally.
lot of
Oh,
we've seen a lot of previews already released. So, but I was able to. I don't want to ruin the story too much because a lot is happening in that story, and a lot of things are like Easter eggs and mysteries and stuff. I was like, okay, I think I'm able to get this one, and it's clear. So I was able to get only one panel for Rogue Storm that we could r- preview, and it's her riding an hippo in the Oshun Groves. It's a sacred grove dedicated to the goddess Oshun. So that's where she is. She's riding a hippo with her weapons through the Oshun sacred grove.
hmm.
I just love the colors and the art,
The
everything.
vibe. Yeah.
Where is this taking place?
This particular panel is in Nigeria, but we cut through different locations in Africa. Some take place in Kenya, some take place in Egypt, some take place in Nigeria, and we would see some American locations as well. But most of the story takes place in Africa.
Hadar Yao asked, I don't want to pry too much, but can the hippo fly?
We shall see.
All right. Let's check out the next one.
These are
We have
the fan
some,
art.
we have some fan art. This is Black Vortex Storm. Does this still represent the most powerful unassisted version of Storm that exists to date?
Yeah, to date, yes. That's what we have.
I need Black Vortex Storm to wield Black Lightning. I don't know why I'm obsessed with Black Lightning, but I want to see more Black Lightning.
Because it looks so dope.
It does look dope. Holy crap. Who did this?
That's Roland Bosky.
My God, that's
The
beautiful.
artist
Yeah.
the artist on Rogue Storm.
Yeah, it's the same artist that's doing Rogue Storm.
This is the same artist doing Rogue Storm?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I gotta buy
But telling people how good he is. He's a genius.
Ugh.
I can't.
No.
And I hope we should have him on the show. We should have him on the show at some point for Rogue Storm.
To talk about
do you have his contact information?
Well,
If he's
I
watching
do, but
You do?
yeah. But I'll probably reach out when it's like, I think it's during the last issue right now.
Well, invite him on the show. Tell him he has an exclusive invitation from the Black Comic Lords.
that would be cool.
Be happy to have him on.
Yeah, I love this image. I saved this one personally because I just thought it was so good.
Yeah, this is dope.
This is a funny one. It's a meme. It's usually a cat in the middle of it with all the knives around him, and everybody's like, "What's your unpopular opinion about such and such?" So it only seemed right, I guess, to put Storm in the middle of it.
Yeah, particularly given that she's always has blades on her. She's
Yeah.
You could arguably say that's another one of her superpowers is her ability to use blade. Oh, I love this.
Love this one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This one could be a variant cover in and of itself.
Yeah.
A lot of the Black Vortex fan art has been phenomenal. They look really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to admit I'm semi-obsessed with the Black Vortex version of Storm.
It's a great design. It's very Kirby-esque, and I even like how they included the staff from the vibranium.
Right. The staff, and then you've got the floating sphere that's a part of her crown, which
I love that. I love that crown that looks like a horn kind of thing. I love that.
Yeah.
I think it really represents the purest form of Storm Unleashed.
Imagine I giving you that immortal head smash with those horns.
Yeah.
What the deuce? Artist Megween. This is incredible. A lot of talented people out there. I'm getting Batman vibes with the cape.
I could see that. One of my dreams is to have a Marvel DC crossover where Storm and Batman have a story together. I think that would be so freaking cool.
I would want to do Storm and John Constantine.
Oh yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. The story coming up is kind of going to be that vibe, sort of, maybe with the magic and stuff that's going to be explored.
Kind of, but we'll see. It's man, it gets crazy, but it's fun. It's fun. It's dark. It's pretty dark. Like we got some pages for the 2026 issues, and Tom Brevoort is like, man, he already saw it in the thumbnails, but it's like, for our age restriction, man, we have to do something about this, So they're like, I think we'll do something in coloring. Maybe when we're coloring, we're going to make this dark so it's not too gruesome, because it's like,
considering some of the work that you've done, for you to say it's dark, it must really be dark.
Yeah.
Like, this is not, is it Red Label? What do you call it? Red Band. They're like, this, like, it's not a Red Band book,
Yeah.
We're starting to like cross into the Red Band book, even though we're not Red Band. So it's like, we have to kind of like, hide some of these things in coloring.
But you know what? A Storm Red Band issue could be a good idea. I think that would be very different, and I think it would change some people's perceptions of what her book could be like.
Yeah.
I need to see Storm get bloody again.
It works.
Yeah.
Berserker mode Storm was a new look.
That's one of the things, which I said very early on, on this show and in this series is a lot of the Storm fights has always been Storm far away from the enemy. Oh yeah,
right.
like I rain down lightning, and I'm like, I want to bring Storm closer to the enemy, and we're going to see more visually interesting fights, oddly enough, than in the distance, So gradually we've been bringing Storm's enemies closer and closer to her rather than just far away.
Further away. Yeah. I think that's T'Challa in bed with supposed to be T'Challa in the bed with her diadem on his blanket.
Snuggles.
And that is Lucas Wernick and Eternal Storm, which may be, I think he's supposed to be at the New York City Comic-Con.
Comic-Con?
Yeah.
He's
So
at NYCC?
that might be for that. It might be for that.
Gorgeous stuff.
I supposedly have a ticket to that.
I do too. There's going to be a couple of Storm fans there, and we're going to be giving out copies of this previous run, the first season. I
thought you made my heart jump for a second. I thought you were going to say we're going to be giving out copies of print of this Lucas Wernick, have it signed.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't have the rights for that. But we will be giving out trades of Volume 1 and some of the single issues too. In preparation for 2026.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'll probably be announcing soon who some of the other fans will be, but some of you know some of them. One of them is a very popular Storm cosplayer, so I can say that much.
All right, so you did tease. If I had another critical moment, you had this tease of Phoenix gearing up, Scarlet Witch gearing up, the trifecta, triumvirate sisterhood of the mega powerful women of Marvel. I thought we were going to have that massive team up. You alluded to it, but ultimately, Storm didn't need them. It wasn't. In fact, in retrospect, it probably would have been distracting, because then it would have been about the team up rather than Storm.
Yeah.
So I thought that
of which technically they did help, but without it taking away from Storm,
right?
Because Hadad having to fight them in their realms with the Black Winters is why Storm could take her down with Inditana.
Yeah.
So they did help, but if they were on screen, it would have been,
Yeah.
Here is a fangless shot of Hadad. He has no fangs. The mystery continues.
I love the fact that a lot of fans have now love Hadad. I'm seeing Hadad as DPs. I'm seeing people defending Hadad. I've even seen comments on some YouTube videos. People be like, "Nah, they hate this issue because Hadad lost." I'm like, "Nice."
Look, a lot of people in this chat have been talking about Hadad needs to come back and be redeemed. He's just misunderstood. Yeah, he's the bad guy. But
I love that.
Yeah.
I can understand.
He's misunderstood.
Yeah. He's misunderstood.
I love that so much.
That's literally what he said. He's like, "Look, I'm not a bad guy. Just look at these other guys. They're worse. They're really bad guys.
I'm not a violent god."
Yes.
I'm not a violent god.
I only broke your jaw because you bit my ear off.
Oh, look at this.
I love when he does. Yeah.
Nice.
Storm.
The hair, everything.
There we go.
So feminine.
Shout out to Davico, another man from Bakayad. Oh, this is dope. This is from Marvel Rivals. It looks like Marvel Rivalish.
No, I think it's just a design for fun. Yeah.
Wow. I love the little African texture and the design at the bottom style. Mm-hmm. That's kind of dope. And the hair in this one is that's incredible. Uh-oh.
I forgot about this one with the lightning stretch marks. Lightning bolt stretch marks.
Oh, snap. I didn't even see that. But that's crazy.
Yes. That's a good one. It's cute.
Someone's going to get a tattoo of that. Watch. Shout out to Azazel Valentine with the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. Hadad misunderstood Storm's. That's the only misunderstanding Hadad had.
Right, yeah. But he won't call her weak again. He'll have to, he can still beat her, but he'll have to bring all of it next time.
All right.
Pepe Larraz.
Is this Pepe Larraz for real?
Yep.
Look at him. It's so weird seeing fan art done by artists. Mm-hmm. It's like they show an extra love.
Yeah, he did 2. I forgot to add the second one. He did 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a bad guy, but I'm not a bad guy. That's like
I might be that person. I don't know. I'm not.
All right. The chat has been patient. We are going to get into your questions, of which there are many.
Oh, that's the Pepe Larraz. I've been corrected. Sorry.
All right. Let's jump into these questions. Eclectic Birdie Mitch was asking questions before we even went on air. All right, so let's start. Let's go in reverse order. Are they planning to release a trade paperback of Just Thunder War?
Yes, but it won't just be the 3 issues. It's going to be issues 6 to 12 because it kind of gives a lot of context. For example, you see Shango and all those stuff from issue 7. You know that Hadad took Oblivion out in issue 8, and and Thor comes to tell Storm about Hadad in issue 8. And issue 9, that's the Black Winters from Hadad have started seeping into our universe,
Yeah.
So they did the whole collection. And in issue 6, there's a little narration of, Susanoo of the Amatsukami, this from this. So they put the whole thing together and now called that trade paperback Thunder War.
Number one of quickly Birdie Mitch's questions. Was the first scene with Jericho drum inspired by Jiraiya's infiltration of the Hidden Cloud Village?
Yes, 100%.
Second question. Is Death the same Death as Lady Death, who is currently trapped in the Death Infinity Stone and has selected Phil Coulson as her host?
Yes, it's the same Death, but luckily for me, I don't have to explain it because Death already showed up in other comics. So if those people didn't explain it, it's them.
Right.
And if other people already freed her, I'm just
Yeah.
going to just use her. I'm not going to explain what the other creators did not explain.
You don't strain yourself, man.
That's fair.
Who are those superhero ghouls in Death Slayer? Are they the dead from the previous incarnation, the multiverse?
It's this universe, it's 616, but it's all characters that have died at some point in their existence. If there's a character in Marvel Comics that has never died, that character is not going to have a zombie version. It's only for characters that have died.
Good evening, everyone. Question: Eternity says Hadad will find my heart within the planet. Would it be a single being or all the beings on the planet? That's a good question.
I don't think it's talking about I think it's talking about the planet as a whole, not yeah, and it also has multiple meanings, like we said. It has metaphorical meanings because if Earth dies, Marvel Comics goes with it, and in Marvel continuity too, I think some have said it's the heart of eternity. Some have said, like in Secret Wars, it's is it at the collision point or something of the universe. So all those things are just combined into one. So it's like if you do something to planet Earth, it makes the universe vulnerable to destruction.
Got a super chat. Oro M 1999. Thank you very much. Thank you all for you've done for Storm. Keep pre-ordering, everyone. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, as well.
Another super chat from Richie Terrones. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's get back to our questions here. Boy, I'm not doing this right. Hold on a second.
Okay, while he's doing that, I will ask a question from one of our fans in Nigeria who is asleep. So he asked me if I could ask this while we were here, and this is in regards to the Black Vortex Storm. So they said, how much of Storm's Black Vortex connection will we see? What do her abilities mean in the grand scheme of her power development? And could you give an example of how the Black Vortex Storm's power might differ from her usual weather manipulation?
It's
really three questions.
Again, all this, there are plans, but it's things always change. In Marvel events, sales, and so many things. But yes, we do plan to explore more of the Black Vortex form. And some of the major differences is just we know that Storm in her base level is because she's holding herself back. Because if she isn't doing that, tectonic plates will be shifting, a lot of things will be happening. So the Black Vortex form gives her more range. It's not just weather manipulation. You start having things like electromagnetic control, like the tectonic plates references. She can control the same things, but at a larger scale. And she's more durable with an healing factor.
Richie Terrones asks, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Does the one above all have any relation to other characters like Yahweh or the Fulcrum?
The one above all was created by Mark Waid, and I think his intentions were it represented Jack Kirby. But other creators have also used that concept, to show, characters like Yahweh or, Sky Fathers, like Olorun and, things like that. So what's represented in stories change depending on the creator. but in my own version, it's a little bit of everything. You know, it's the old Jack Kirby thing. He's a creator, and you see how he talks. He talks like a creator. In every panel, in both Storm 11 and Storm 12, he's drawing comic book panels while he's busy. But I think most people have not noticed. And the panels that he draws are usually the panel layouts for the next pages of the comic. But most people have not noticed that. So so he's a creator who is helping draw the actual comics, because you see the layouts. He draws the panel layouts for the comic. And but he's also serving that role of the supreme entity, the omnipotent, the omniscient, and all those things. So yeah, the one above all in the Storm book is a combination of both.
Is the one above all so standoffish because the living tribunal is usually his hand and carries out his will?
I think the one above all, like he said in the book, people haven't noticed that the one above all is very similar to Storm, in the sense that the one above all says he can't mourn Oblivion when Oblivion died. Because if he tries to mourn Oblivion, all creations might die. He is so powerful that if he sheds a tear, we might all just perish. If he laughs too hard, everything might just turn to flowers or something. Just the way Storm has to always keep her cool so that she doesn't destroy the planet. The one above all has to always keep his cool. And he loves his children. He's an emotional being because he's a creator. So he can't be the one to play that role of, oh yeah, you're fighting, I'll be there, because if he should get carried away and show too much emotions, it might cause too much damage. So, and that's why someone that, like the Living Tribunal, that is more logic driven than emotional driven, is like, yeah, you do this job. The Living Tribunal is not there as a creator entity, it's not anything, it's just you just be this thing. So it's the one above all is just filled with so much emotions, So I wouldn't even say standoffish. It's even when he secludes himself, is out of love, He leaves everything he's doing to sit down to talk to eternity. Eternity just killed his son, and yet he still has advice for him. Most entities will be like, just get out of here, but it's just still there.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Ayodele question. Eternity says Hadad will find my heart within the planet. Would it be a single being or all beings? Yeah, we answered that one.
Yeah, we did that one.
Damon Watson, I'm mad that Jeff the Land Shark got a crossover story in Deadpool Batman, but not a single black character. If you could put Eternal Storm in a crossover story, who would you pair her with?
Oh, I think I just said it. There are so many things. The thing is, I wouldn't even do single character thing. I'll probably do like, a mashup of characters versus other characters. But I don't know. If it's Eternal Storm and not regular Storm, I might do Joe from the Grey Lanterns. Let them do a cosmic story.
Let's see. Hadad will be revived like Zeus did in the previous Storm book.
We shall see.
We shall see. I was reviewing my personal collection and noted my key books. Will this series serve as a key for future Marvel stories? Will we see these characters again?
I can't, we hope so.
Yeah.
But I intend to, but how the industry is. But yeah, there are some substantial keys. Suga was created in this run. Amadioha was created in this run. A quite a lot of storm gods, even though they existed before, got their new looks in this run.
Yep.
Death got a new look in this run. Eternal Storm was introduced in this run.
We got to see a lot of the One Above All and the cosmic entities in this run too, in ways we hadn't seen them before.
The One Above All got a new look in this run too.
Yeah.
And more importantly,
Abraxas came back in this run.
Yeah.
Beyond simply just having the issue be a quote unquote key, I think collectively speaking, Murewa's done more world building with Storm and who she is and definition of who she is and what she represents than any writer previously in Marvel history.
Yeah.
In the 50 years that she's been around, this is the deepest dive, the deepest cuts we've ever had on this character.
Yeah. Hands down.
So in that respect, almost every issue is a key because in almost every issue, you have an added layer and an added piece to the tapestry that Murewa's building.
Yeah, so time will decide how valuable the key is. Like, oh, will this keep getting referenced? For example, something small as One Above All has hair now. I think the One Above All in Philip Kennedy Johnson has hair too now.
Yeah.
So things like that. So it's just little things.
Yeah.
And someone might be like, I like him bald, and I might go back to being bald. And who knows, the hair might stay. And then you just be like, oh, where did the hair start? It started in Storm. This and it's you can't really decide these things. It's just have fun with the work, have fun with the stories, and
it's up to eternity.
collect the things that feels important to you.
Yeah.
For example, like we just said, some people collect things for the looks. For example, like, oh, this is where this thing got this design. This is where this thing got this design. They just keep the design thing. Some keep the first appearances of characters. Some keep characters of color. Some keep different things. So yeah, just have fun with it. And once it's something that I feel strongly about, they usually pay off, because if you feel strongly about it, that means some other people also feel strongly about it, or a creator feels strongly, and it stays alive.
I think Hadad will be resurrected by Death herself, and he will turn into her soldier for the war above all. I think it's a pretty good bet.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
we'll see. Was the Thunder War always meant to be 3 issues, or did you want it to be longer? That's a good question.
Yeah, it was meant to be 5 issues, but I was given the option of telling the Thunder War story in 2026 as a 5-issue story, or telling it in 2025 as a 3-issue story. And I chose to tell it in 2025 because no one knows tomorrow. So I know people, I've seen some comments online like, oh yeah, Marvel messed up this. It's not Marvel's fault. It's kind of my fault, but it's also not my fault. It's always a safer bet to do it now than save it for later.
Yeah. I think
it don't know what tomorrow holds.
I appreciated it for the 3-part that it is. Because here's the other thing that I know about people now. People's attention spans are so short. And I could easily see then people will start complaining, oh, it's going on too long. Why is it doing this? And why is it? I think it worked out perfectly doing it in the 3 because it may have been condensed, but I enjoyed how the story was told in parts.
I think it might have worked. It might have been maybe even stronger as 5 issues. But the thing I fear is not it's been 5 issues, or it's what happens to the story before the Thunder War starts.
Right.
That's when you have that thing of, oh yeah, you're spinning your wheels.
Right.
And I've read comics where I experienced that. I don't like that experience. So I don't like to give readers that experience. When you know that, oh yeah, this person is spinning the wheels because of something that's going to happen 3 months from now.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't like giving readers that experience. It's not fun. you're excited to read this book, every month. You come,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you come out this Wednesday, and the story is just like,
Man,
it's
fill
just spinning the wheels. Yeah.
My man JT asks, will it continue after Rogue Storm? Your
Yes. Yes,
series.
it will. So let's try to
Hadari
pre-order.
says, yeah, got to pre-order. Hadari says, love to see another armor cameo. Will she make an appearance in Rogue Storm?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm on the character. Not in Rogue Storm, but I'm hoping for more appearance of her in 2026. I love the character as well.
JT asks, would you consider doing a Beta Ray Bill or Blue Marvel series?
I know, right? It will be an honor and a great opportunity.
Are there multiple aspects or avatars of Death running around in the 616? Or did this event occur before the whole Thanos and Death fallout, the new Infinity Stone ordeal?
Also, the first part of the question, when it comes to avatars of death, it's complicated. Um, the avatars of death that are self-imposed, that are, oh yeah, I'm an avatar of death because I'm a genocidal maniac, and the avatars of death that is like, oh yeah, I actually serve the entity death.
Yeah.
And when it comes to avatars separated from hosts, an entity can have multiple avatars. So yeah, there can be multiple avatars of death. But I think for this particular war above all, death is choosing just one particular to be that avatar, the main one, And this event is after the old Thanos and Death fallout. It's after that. Death already showed up in other comics, I think in Phoenix 5 and so on. So yeah, so I chose not to, just moving with it. And hearing, that her brother, every other plan she has, she's going to drop it. Hearing that her brother was slain. Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, all right. Was her jaw fully broken because of the specific move? If yes, is it being healed practically immediately? A sign of a healing factor.
Oh, it wasn't healed immediately. She was just puking blood and everything when she was in basic form. It was the Black Vortex form that healed it.
Mm. Well, I guess the question is the Black Vortex form something that has a healing factor?
Yes.
Okay.
If you I don't know if you've seen it before, Paul, but there's a stat, I shared it actually on Blue Sky. There's a Static Shock book where he's using lightning to accelerate his body's natural healing process.
Healing, yeah.
So something like that could apply here, I would think. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora show us that the material of the weapon doesn't matter when you can command the powers of the storm. When she jumped Emma Frost, could it just be the sheer gravitational force?
Oh, he's talking about Extreme X-Men. When they fought outside the mansion and Storm was like pinning, like, yeah, I remember that. Okay, that's what he's talking about. That's a throwback.
Yes, I don't know. That's for the intentions of the writer.
The answer to most of those questions is it depends on who writes the story. So does that mean in the future we're going to see Storm use her boundless eyes to look through the other 13 hosts?
That's if she's Eternal Storm. And as much as we know right now, she's not.
Yeah,
she
I think in your last panel you said she rejected every aspect of eternity from her body.
So
Is that possible? Is it possible future events she can see or events that will happen for sure?
It's still the same thing. She
No
can't
longer has.
use the boundless eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Even when
done.
she had the Eternal Storm, she hadn't unlocked it yet. But she's definitely doesn't have it now.
What does Hadad mean when he said Storm had not awakened her boundless eyes? I think that was kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's the eyes that Eternity unlocked for her just a little bit in um
If
the
you could,
Hellfire Vigil book.
if you could pick an actor to voice Hadad, would you like to see Keith David, voice of HBO Spawn, or Kratos, voice actors T.C. Carson, and Christopher Judge? Those are all heavyweight actors.
Yeah, those are all spectacular actors. But I don't know. I know Hadad has a deep voice, but I don't think he has that much of a deep voice too. I don't know. The voice actor that we had already is in my head, so it's very hard to remove it.
Yeah. I like the voice actor that we got. T.C. Carson. But he is a friend of mine. I mean, I'll ask him.
T.C. Carson's a friend of yours?
Yeah. We've done some work together before.
I think he would be a great voice actor for anything, honestly. Maybe Murewa was inspired by JJK?
100%.
Her vibranium armor looked jacked up, but did her spear survive?
That spear is gone, man. I'm probably going to have a whole ass story about how she's going to find it, because after she got punched in space, this it's gone. We didn't see it anymore. That spear is gone.
I need you to have a scene where she somehow goes back to Wakanda with the messed up armor, and they be like, "What did you do?"
Don't.
Is Omega Maggot in Death's realm?
Technically, yes.
He is dead. I mean,
anyone has died as a version then.
Can Maggot die if both slugs are still alive? That's a good question.
They will eventually die, because technically that means he's not dead yet, because the slugs are still part of him. So it's like being brain dead, for example, but your body is still alive. Yeah, you are alive, but it will eventually die too. So
but the maggots could continue to consume stuff that might help to regenerate him, arguably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Araya, do you think Eternity will create another host to kill the new threat, Storm, like Hadad?
We shall see.
The new host. Who would that be?
Yeah. But it's hard to get hosts. Even between Hadad and Storm, it took 1 billion years. Because Hadad was 1 billion years ago. Eternal Madness was 3 billion. Eternal Madness was 3 billion. Hadad was 1 billion. So yeah, unlike some other entities, host is very hard to come by, new host for Eternity.
Here we go. Are we ever going to see the abstract entity life who takes the appearance of a black woman in the series in the future?
Infinity? Yeah. Are they talking about? Is she talking about Infinity?
Infinity is black. I think life is also black too.
There you go.
So I guess they're wondering if they're going to see them in human form in the series.
This series we've not been doing the whole entities in human form thing. It's because we have stories of actual gods, so who look like humans, a lot of the time. So if the entities also look like humans, it's going to start creating a lot of confusion and stuff. So I've been making the entities actually look abstract. So to differentiate them, like, okay, abstract gods and this. It's why abstract sometimes are called gods in some other series too. It's why we don't call them gods at all here, because it's just going to be very confusing very fast.
Yeah.
It's just the abstract entities. Just go straight to that.
Did the saga of the Sixth Path and the sage of the Sixth Path and his sons inspire depiction of the One Above All and his progeny?
No. The One Above All was already had like new looks. His shape has been changing. It was Jack Kirby at first. Some people has depicted him as a bearded old man, and in Immortal Thor, some has made him like an hobo kind of character. In Immortal Thor, I think Lewin, I'm not sure if it's Joe Bennett, an artist, made him a golden bald-headed guy. Then later he had a low haircut and stuff like that. So I just said, I want him to have flowy hair, like the hair should be like a crown, So yeah, it's been a gradual transition. It's not inspired by one thing. It's a gradual transition from his first appearance to the look he has now. Different creators and different artists gradually changing it.
Will we catch a glimpse of Abraxas again, or did Aurora release them entirely while she was in control?
Yeah, we should see Abraxas again.
All right. Was Storm married when she has her child?
The child says it's.
The child what?
The child says it's. They are together. Nothing there insinuated that she wasn't married. She's married.
Okay. What's the next comic Ayodele will write? Will it be the one about the death event?
I'm still on Storm. Storm all day, baby.
Brother Voodoo, it's Dr. Voodoo, is creeping up on my suspect list now that he's become a more key player for the foreseeable future.
Oh, yeah, because of the fangs.
Yeah. Azazel Valentine, a theory to think on, but could the whole breathing thing be tied to the more primal emotions of storm gods?
Yeah, they are also very emotional creatures.
Yeah.
A reflection of eternity, who is a creator entity, and creator entities are always very emotional.
If Deadpool Batman is successful enough to warrant another crossover, will you be in a position to write a story showcasing your upgraded store, or do we as fans lobby for the inclusion?
These crossovers happen so rarely, so I don't think there is a game plan that everyone runs by. I think it's just, oh yeah, it's happening, and then whatever mode it's run by is decided there. So I don't think it's anything.
I personally was really disappointed by this one. But that's just me.
No, it's a test center, is to be sure, is to test. I think it's to test the market, is to know that people have a test for it and hunger for it, and then something more meaty would come.
Will come about.
Yeah, test what the lawyers would say, test what the companies would say if they want to play game with each other, play ball with each other, So I think it does a good job for what it was designed to be and what they marketed it as.
Yeah, that makes sense. That original was something special. You remember? You remember? Did you collect that, Paul, when it came out?
I think I did. Perhaps.
Yeah.
It's a while ago. What is Storm's power level now that she is no longer here with Eternity?
Storm's power levels is basically back to her normal self, but some things have changed, like the black lightning that we see. So I would explore those changes.
Yeah, explore changes like using electricity to heal herself, increase her synaptic responses, You manipulate the powers of the universe to
Yeah.
make gravity well punches. I mean,
Right. In other words, she's just back to regular old Omega again.
a regular old will make that old hat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can Storm now tap into the powers of the universe now on her own? Well, she always could, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just at the level that she could before, not at Eternal Storm level.
I was a little surprised she didn't use magic like she did when she got jumped.
Yeah, we're going to explore magic more in Rogue Storm, but yeah, what's his name? Hadad went straight for the jaw, so yeah, there's no way she's saying he led there.
Right.
Let's see. With her on her own.
Yeah, like if you notice, I don't think she didn't say as the fight starts, she was able to say anything until she got into the black vortex form
Right. Right.
because her jaw was gone.
Will Aurora be learning any magic in the near future since she is a candidate for Sorcerer Supreme? Wait, when did she become a candidate for Sorcerer Supreme?
It was on the cover for the book that is going to review the next Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh.
We don't
Yeah,
technically know the candidate yet, but they did have her on the cover, yes.
Yeah, we don't know if she's a candidate. We just know she's on the cover. Storm will be learning magic in the future. She's already started learning magic.
Yeah. And whoever the new Sorcerer Supreme is that going to be impacting the upcoming season at all?
I played the fifth.
Okay. All right.
FIF. I love this comic by Zazel Valentine. Thank you for the super chat. So Storm wears a crown just to stunt on her enemies.
And it's securely in place too, because if you notice, it was still on after she had her jaw broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did she fasten that thing in there?
No, the crown for the armor, that one has like spikes and stuff. That one is not going anywhere.
Wow, that makes
That one
sense.
is not going anywhere.
Will the black and gold Eternal Storm look be shown again?
We shall see. That means it can only show up if Storm and Eternity reconcile. So will they ever reconcile? Storm just said never again. So
right,
we'll see.
Pre-order the book. It's your best chance to see it. Would you be down to help write or consult a Storm solo movie? And who do you see portraying Storm in live action when you write these stories?
I'm usually more of an animation guy, so I don't know how to cast actors. I don't even see this. Consult, yeah, maybe.
How did Abraxas lend her strength? Did she absorb the energy he unleashed that pushed her back?
I think we established this in Storm 9 that in the Eternal Storm form, Eternal Storm can use Abraxas as a cosmic power battery to amplify our already infinite power.
So he's basically a backup battery.
Yeah, not like a backup or even like an amplifier kind of thing. It amplifies apart. Yeah.
Black Comic Lords, how do I get in contact? Just email us at blackcomiclords@gmail.com. Here we go. We need a 6 to 12 chapter backstory of Hadad.
Oh God,
I know, right? It's going to be fun. Something just occurred to me. I think the question about if Storm was married, I think I answered that question rudely, so I'm sorry. It's because I've been getting a lot of things about, oh yeah, I'm pushing Storm being a baby mama thing. And I'm like, nothing in that story shows that she's not with a dad. Like the child even said, like, oh yeah, dad this, like they are a family. So I think I might have answered that question rudely. It might have just been an innocent question. So yes, the intention of that is that she is in a family raising the child. So sorry if I answered that question rudely.
When she joined the Avengers, or looked like we were going to see, it looked like you were going to see a fight, but it didn't happen. If he threatened the world again, would Storm feel more confident in soloing him instead?
Are we talking? Are we talking about
Hadad?
Hyperion?
Hyperion? That's what I would think.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought he was. Oh, I don't know.
That's the character that they fought when she first joined the Avengers.
Yeah, that's for Jed McKay. Man, Hyperion is a tough one. But yeah, Storm, it's Jed writing it, so I don't think too much about it. But win or lose, yeah, you are correct. Storm will be more confident trying to say, I can at least try.
Mm-hmm.
She has, although now her armor is, all banked up, but yeah, she can at least try. After facing someone like Hadad, she can at least try.
Yeah. If the Avengers can give her some time to get into Black Vortex mode, we'll have some fight.
Is Hadad coming back as a zombie?
We shall see.
Could we see Lady Death bringing Hadad back?
I love what this theory is. Yeah, let's see. We shall see.
But can she trust her boundless eyes, or are they still influenced by eternity?
Yeah, it's one of the many mysteries of the Furaha thing. Is she even real? Or was it eternity messing with her? All that is going to be revealed. It's all the fun of it.
Will Storm deliver more ass whoopings in 2026? Most assured.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. I cannot wait for this run. Will Undead Pool tie into this?
Undead Pool is Age of Revelation. It won't be coming into the main continuity that 2026 is setting.
Okay. Will this connect to Null upcoming series?
That Null is a Null that is alive. This Null is a zombie Null.
If she got gods, doesn't that mean she can collect Hadad too?
Yes, if Eternity didn't kill Hadad, she could have put Hadad in the pocket dimension as well with the other gods.
Gongo's Den says, so is this the dead Gore, the God Butcher from the Phoenix comic?
The God Butcher died before the Phoenix series. That wasn't the first time the God Butcher died. So the God Butcher had to go transform into a star in the Phoenix book. So some could argue he died, some could argue he didn't die. But before that series, he had died before. So that means there's a zombie version of him that Death can resurrect. So Phoenix series, so what happened in that Phoenix series doesn't matter to the fact that there's this God died before. So there's a zombie version in Death's realm.
Absolutely terrifying. This is your one chance to give us that Null and Storm confrontation, because I still wonder why he called her his best host and named her Little Light.
Yeah, maybe he was jealous of Eternity. Like, man, Eternity is getting all the best hosts.
Could she forcibly use voodoo to breach into the realm of gods?
She did with Manifold. There's probably some voodoo spells to use, so I guess so. But except we're talking about the pocket dimension, but if you have a teleporter, either by magic or by mutant ability, yes, you can.
Can't he command the dead? I
guess he's talking about Black Panther as the king of the dead. Yeah, I can command the dead.
He absolutely can command the dead. See Secret Wars
Secret
issue
Wars.
number 8 to see more. How much of a power upgrade will Voodoo get?
We shall see.
We shall
Or maybe
see.
he was going to be like, "No, I will not become your avatar." You know.
Do the dead have any sentence, or are they just mindless souls? Sentience.
Is the combination of both, but they are under control of Mistress Death.
I know that each issue has a limited amount of space for each panel. Did you originally have a longer extended fight plan between Hadad and Storm that had to be cut to fit the issue, or was this it?
Man, I think people did not notice that, a lot of the Storm issues have like 5 panels, 3 panels, and a lot of full page panels, to showcase the art, for the art to breathe and everything. And some of the pages in this issue had 7 panels. It's just, I think we enjoy we enjoyed it so much that we're like, oh my god, it's too short. Count the number of panels again for this issue, and then you know that there were a lot of panels here. It wasn't cut short, it was increased even. There are
Hope
more
everyone
panels.
appreciates Maria's out here giving you bang for your buck.
Yeah, and Mario especially, they have to draw more.
Yeah.
So count the panels in issue 12 and count panels in the previous issue. You know that issue 12 has more panels and more words, has more content than the previous issues. So it's issue 12 is longer than the previous issues. It's not shorter.
Does Death not have access to Oblivion?
Not directly, no, because she's now housed within eternity.
Do the dead in Death's realm have any intelligence or sentience, or are they just mindless ghouls that are completely under her sway?
It depends on what she wants. Like I said, like God the God Butcher has his own personality when he's talking with Dr. Voodoo, but still has to serve, Death's wishes.
Mm-hmm.
Does Magic in Rogue Storm maybe have a bit of a deal with Death?
That sounds like a loaded question. I didn't say Magic was going to be in Rogue Storm. Magic is not in Rogue Storm. Death is going to be discussed more in the 2026 series.
You can leave your answer there at that. If a gun is free again in Rogue Storm, then surely Maggot would have had to come back first. Or was his death what released the God Eater?
We shall see.
Does the new Marvel zombie series tie into Storm in 2026?
No, but it was a very good coincidence. It was very, very funny. This issue came out around the same time the Marvel Zombies show also came out. Like, oh, nice.
Same day, yeah. No, day. I think Marvel Zombies came out the day after, maybe something like that.
I think a day before or the same day. It was something.
Yeah.
Which was very close, very, very close.
I thought that you had been greenlit for 20 thus far, issues wise. I think.
Yes. Issues 1 to 12. That's 12 issues. Rogue Storm 3. That's 15. And Storm Earth's Mightiest Mutant 26. 5 issues. That's 20 issues. So depending on how the sales goes as we move on, I will not get maybe 5 more issues and it becomes 25, like that. So those are the 20 issues.
Okay. Will you get around to playing with the abstract of life at any point as well?
Only time will tell.
Will you be drawing any inspirations from her arc in Worlds Apart or making references to run overall in your art or writing?
Yeah, yes, I have been making references to that. The battle between Cyclops and Storm is a reference to that. The move that Storm uses on Shango, where she surrounds him in lightning, is from that run where Storm surrounds T'Challa in a cage of lightning. There are so many references from the Storm Suit that's already referenced things from what's apart. You just you might just not catch them easily, but it's chock full of references to that run.
Okay. I liked how Storm spoke on her martial arts mastery. What are your feelings about that aspect being made less trivial on the panel? The action and the issues, though, were credits to be sure.
I understand what you're saying. You wish there were more, like we saw more of that fight, and I agree with you. Well, like we said, it's 5 issues into 3 issues, and 3 issues being 20 pages long. So yeah, we had to make do.
Will she ever use the boundless eyes in the future?
We shall see, but that means she has to link back with eternity, which is, will she?
Can we in a future issue see the training with Shang-Chi?
That would be nice.
What did Gateway do to Storm in issue number 1?
2026.
That's in 2026, exactly.
Right. Was it pure ether what we saw around Black Vortex Storm?
Is it like in her hair? I'm not sure the part you're describing, but her hair was just basically,
Was this got cloud?
no, it was white flames, basically plasma. Uh,
Plasma.
Thank you for the super chat, Richie Toro. Any chance we'll see Danny Moonstar because of her connection with death?
I'm not sure. There are big plans for Danny Moonstar, so I want to like obstruct those plans.
Isn't she taking over the X-Vengers or something, becoming the new Captain America or something?
Yeah, that's for Age of Revelation. I've said too much already.
It's in the solicits. That's not.
No. Oh, sorry. Let me not correct you. Just move.
Yes. We move.
Is that all the questions? I think I hit them all up. That's just the ones I started. Oh, here we go. One. Here's another super chat for Aurora M. Thank you for that. Is Storm beyond Omega in Black Vortex form? This is her natural form, correct?
Now this is where it gets complex.
Let me rephrase that question. Can Storm still call upon the Black Vortex persona at will?
Yeah, she can call upon it at will, just takes time. But it's now, what's the classification? If the form is beyond Omega or this time won't be an answer some people like, but I would still say it's still Omega.
I would too.
Because it's still her. Mm-hmm. It's that we've never seen her full Omega potential because she holds herself back. That form is her not holding herself back. It's like, it's like some Wonder Woman stories where she has that bracelet, that, reduces her power, that when she's fighting and the fighting really gets tough, she removes those bracelets and it's like, yeah, now time to fight for real. Mm-hmm. So for her, she has those bracelets, but it's in her mind, it's in her psyche, it's in everything. So for her to unlock that, she has to remove those locks, remove those things in her mind, and be like, yeah, time to go all out. So it's basically that the Omega level storm we have seen is not the full magnitude of our Omega-ness.
Right.
Let's see if I have any more questions. I don't think we have any more. Can you save Storm Sister book?
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I didn't even get that reference initially. Sorry about that.
According to Stephanie Phillips, the book was not a flop. It's been doing very well. So, no flops.
Is Rogue Storm still a thing, or is it replaced with her Black Vortex look?
Rogue Storm, that's the one in Chris Claremont. It's technically still a thing, but I kind of already retconned that as Eternal Storm. But we shall see what the future holds, either in my hands or in the hands of a future writer.
Maxine Shaw, is that Demon Baby still coming? Damn it. What Demon Baby? What's he talking about?
I don't know.
All right. I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. So, all right. Wait, hold on. One more. How do you feel about Storm's friendships with Misty Knight, Monica Rambeau, and Sue Storm? And will we see any of them appear in the future?
Yeah, I'm planning for the next series to probably not be as dense and as fast-paced as the first half. The first half was done that way to break a lot of preconceptions quickly. If we moved at a slow pace, like a Daredevil comic, like all those things, it will easily, I feared, it would easily be sidelined as, just another Storm book, just another girly book that, is about them having tea parties and walking down the streets and going to the hair salon, So the first volume is to quickly break all those preconceptions. So the second volume, we're probably going to have, we're going to have more breather, it's going to slow down more. So it's going to be more action packed than issue 1, than the volume 1. It's going to be more action packed. There's going to be more fights, more everything. But at the same time, there's going to be more character moments than volume 1. So it's going to slow down. The pacing is going to be slower. So be able to see all those explorations like with our friends and all those things. So yeah. So never say never with relationship with all these wonderful women and Marvel.
All right. Well, Maria, thank you for your time. We've been on here for just about 3 hours. Thank you, people in the chat, with all your questions and attentiveness. You can thank Murewa for his efforts by pre-ordering future issues of this book. Any closing
Thank you for having me.
thoughts, Antoine, Murewa?
You had said it. You wanted to say something?
Well, I was just going to say I appreciate everybody for continuing to support the series and for I would say for taking the high road, because I feel like for the most part, a lot of us really have taken the high road with some of the criticisms that we've gotten. And I appreciate that we've stood united to hold ourselves to higher ideals.
Thank you, Paul, for having us every week. Thank you to everyone that's been supporting this book and supporting this show. It's been fun. It's been exciting getting to talk and, dissect these books. I sometimes see a lot of all the discussions online, and it's so nice to see all the interactions and all the analysis, people analyzing that the thoughts, the balloons, what does the balloons mean? That, oh yeah, this is Storm's voice, this is Eternal Storm's voice, and so many things. And it's just so heartwarming to see so much discussion about Storm, so much discussion about my work. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate the support, the pre-orders, the numbers. To have the opportunity to be able to tell a story for this long. The Storm series is my first ongoing series ever. And here we are, 20 issues, greenlit. So that's a big one. I don't think even some of the biggest creators have not had that much success in this type of economy and have this much issues at the first ongoing. So I'm really grateful to everyone's support. And yeah, it's always wonderful having this time. And I hope for this to continue for a very, very long time.
You know what? It had not occurred to me that this is your first ongoing series.
Mm-hmm.
And it's with Marvel's marquee Black character.
Mm-hmm.
The number one Black superheroine in the world across all comic books, Marvel, DC, Image,
Anybody.
whatever. She is the most well-recognized Black superheroine in the world. And you got her from as your very first ongoing series, and you knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
Had that occurred to you that is that why you put the extra effort, the extra oomph into what you've done?
I always try to put that in every work, but it's why I was scared. It's why I didn't want to say yes to the projects at first. I was really scared.
Oh, we got some good compliments here. It's good, nice. Cannot wait to see how other characters that Storm has close relationships to reacts to everything that happened to Storm in the series. Thank you, Maria, Paul, and my friend Antoine. It's been great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great interview, guys. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Kevin. You're always very loyal. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hadad, these are the comments you need to see, Maria. You are a generational writer, Murewa, easily on your way to being one of our big guns in the modern era.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We are proud of you and the rest of the team. All right. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you know I'm gonna do that, Brian. That's what I do. All right. So until next time, everybody, we'll see y'all next month. Wait, when does
next
Rogue
month
drop? Is it next month?
October 15th.
I think yeah.
So 3 weeks?
They're about
3 weeks.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys October 16th.
All right. We'll be back in 3 weeks, October 16th. Until next time, everyone, Black Comic Lords, we got you.
Good night.